Robbie Williams Rewind.
Welcome to Robbie Williams Rewind. We are the champions. I'm Matt.
And I'm Lucy.
And along with help from special guest fans, we take you on an in-depth rewind through the solo career of multi-award-winning singer, songwriter and entertainer Robbie Williams. So before we get going with our episode with Karen on the Heavy Entertainment Show, let's give you a little bit of an update about what we've been up to and what Rob's been up to.
Yeah. Well, obviously we've had the Munich concert that we went to. Fortunately, we were able to go. And yeah, just say a little bit of that about that. Start at the beginning.
Firstly, what a lovely place Munich actually is.
Yeah, it really was.
We were fortunate enough to have a few days with some lovely friends and explored before we actually went to the gigs. That was quite nice.
Yeah.
Little holiday.
One funny moment was that we were in our hotel room messaging some friends who we knew had just arrived about meeting up to go into town together, knowing they were in the same hotel, and messaging, and then they said, why don't you come up to our room and then we can go from there. We're in 409. We were like, oh my God, we are literally next door. So yeah, that was funny.
Yeah.
So on to the concert. It was a bit of a shambles getting in. The promoters didn't seem to really have a clue how to handle a crowd, and the security didn't really have any control over the crowd. Yeah,
it was bad organisation. I mean, it is a temporary gig set up there, but the organisers seem to have no idea about crowd surging, crowd control, people lying about where they were going. Yeah, there was just a massive surge on the entry. It wasn't very nice. Literally,
just to show your ticket, it was a case of being squashed. It was very unsafe.
Yeah.
I was fortunate that I was with, some good friends who physically held the crowd back to help me get through the barrier. It was that bad. And then you got the next entry point later on at 2:00.
The early entry point.
And by then, must be thousands of people waiting to go in then, because everyone with a platinum ticket could go in for early entry. So when they dropped the tape to allow you to actually get to the barrier, it was
just a stampede.
Yeah.
It was like a stampede. That's the only way I can describe it.
Yeah.
People had no option really, but because there was a lot of distance between that position and, you either had to choose a main stage position, so-called 360, whatever they were calling it, or you had to choose a B stage position. And on both sides, it was pandemonium.
Yeah.
People, I run pretty fast, so I ran, but a lot of other people ran as well. Lots of friends of ours fell, hurt themselves. It was a gravel service, but really big blocks of gravel, stone,
hard, like
a hardcore, just
harsh, really, cornered gravel.
Really
not
sharp
soft.
gravel. A lot of people fell on it, hurt their knees,
cut themselves.
Elbows. Yeah, it was, and the security didn't seem. They had no plan for controlling or slowing that entry whatsoever. It was very dangerous, and a lot of people were fairly upset when they got in, which I can understand. But we managed to, we were very fortunate, I think, mainly because of my fast running.
Yeah.
We managed to get a position right in the centre of the B stage at the end.
Yeah. Best position ever.
And that was incredible.
And Matt didn't even realise he'd actually even got that position. He just saw a spot, sat in it. Then I joined him very quickly. And after sitting there for 5-10 minutes.
Yeah.
Oh, let's actually stand up and see where we are. Oh, wow, look.
So it's really nice. It's fair to say we've obviously been at the front a lot, but we're not always slap bang centre in the middle, and so it was quite nice to have that position, wasn't it? And feel very very privileged to be able to be there. And I think when Rob came running down that walkway the first time, sure, he saw us right in his eye line.
He did.
Yeah. So
moving on to Robbie, he was incredible. The stage was a bit too big, really.
It was enormous.
Yeah.
Enormous.
He was a long way from us when he was on the main stage.
Yeah. Well, I remember the lovely Dinosh Bennett, one of the backing vocalists, commented on one of your posts saying, oh, that's what he was doing down there. Because literally, they looked as though they were about half a mile away, didn't they?
Yeah.
You know, they were like little tiny ants on the stage, even where we were. And we were at the front of the B stage, so not at the very front. But yeah, it was colossally big, enormous.
Yeah.
But Rob did manage to fill it with his energy, didn't he, I think?
Yeah.
Although the crowd weren't quite as loud and singing along as, say, like a Nebworth or a London Stadium, or, you know, like a real big gig. It was a little quiet around us, didn't it?
Yeah,
apart from the hardcore fans that were really near to us.
Yeah.
There wasn't the same level of volume and singing, I don't think.
No.
But it's still an amazing concert. So, should we take a little look at the set list?
Yeah.
So, obviously, opened with "Let Me Entertain You," which was incredible.
Yeah.
There's a little video of that on our Instagram if you want to have a look. That's at the time of the recording here has 140,000 hits, which is pretty high.
That's just on Instagram.
That's just Insta. Anyway, it certainly went on to Monsoon, Land of a Thousand Dances, Candy, Come Undone, Better Man, Eternity, The Road to Mandalay, Sweet Caroline.
Oh, when he did Sweet Caroline, he dedicated it to Papa Pete.
That's right.
And said, I'm going to retire this song now. You know, unfortunately, my dad's not well.
Yeah.
And, you know, he would always come out and sing this song with me. So I'm going to sort of dedicate this to him and thank him for all his years on tour with me. And this is the last time I'm going to sing this.
And that was lovely. Lovely dedication. Hello, Papa Pete, if you're listening.
Yeah.
So then they went on to Something Stupid. And we also caught a lot of photos and videos of that one. That was a lovely moment on the sofa.
Yeah.
No Regrets.
Oh, I loved No Regrets because it was the 25 version.
Oh, yeah.
And when they did the whole lights on the stage, it was really dramatic.
They're in sync, yeah.
It was very good.
Yep. And then it was Love My Life, which was very, very nice because obviously Ida and the kids were in the little, they were in sort of a little VIP pen just behind us.
Yeah.
Well, not just behind us, but a few people behind us. And he obviously talked about the fact that this was written for his kids.
Yeah. And some people, so I don't know whether they're listening, but a few of our friends were actually stood right in front of them and they said it was just wonderful looking at their happy faces while Robbie was singing that song, and then Teddy was singing along with all her might. Yes.
Oh. And then on the set list that we have, Bodies is listed, but we realised that he was skipping that one because when he got to that point, he said, right, Supreme next, Supreme.
Yeah.
So, skipped over that one. And then went to Supreme, and then it was Tripping, which was amazing.
Yeah.
That was good to hear Tripping live. And then Millennium into Hot Fudge, and then Back in Black into Kids, and then Feel, Rock DJ, and then Lost.
Oh, Lost. Wow. How exciting to be at the premiere, the first ever live performance of Lost.
Oh, it was really, really good. I remember talking to quite a lot of people after the gig, and you, obviously, and there's just something special about hearing that live. It was even better. I think just you could hear the raw emotion in his voice. It was very different to the produced track. So, I look forward to hearing that live again. I think it went down really well as well.
Yeah.
But obviously he was super nervous. There was something going on around about that point.
Yeah.
Which even he wasn't sure what was going on. And he went into She's the One. And do you want to explain what happened, Liz?
Well, he was talking to a fan in the audience because he was going to dedicate She's the One to a fan. I can't remember her name. Bridget, was it, or something?
Can't
Barbara?
remember.
I can't remember, something like that. And he kind of choked on his words and had to stop talking and sort of turn around, and it was a bit like, oh, what's he doing? Is he like trying not to burp or something? I don't know. It was all a bit strange.
Yeah.
And then he managed to carry on speaking, and then he started singing the song. And then during She's the One, he kind of disappeared behind the drums. And from our angle, we couldn't really see him because he was literally behind the drums. And then he came back out and carried on singing a bit, and then he disappeared again. And I didn't really pay much attention to it. I just thought,
No, because
he's just kind of, maybe he needs a drink. Or...
He sometimes does disappear off for a drink, or sometimes you think, oh, there might be something happening, like a costume change. But it wasn't the kind of song where he would mess about on it. Like some songs, obviously, he could just disappear off for a bit. But She's the One's normally like right up front.
Yeah. So, unfortunately, when he finished singing it, he did say that he had just been sick. And as a video on YouTube, I'm sure everyone will have seen it, shows, you don't see any sick, but you can see him bending over.
It's not a nice video to watch,
horrible.
really.
It's horrible, really. But my takeaway from it was the incredible professionalism that he just carried on singing immediately.
Consummate,
immediately.
Professional, absolutely composed. You could still see he was a little shaken by it, but he absolutely nailed the vocal, continued to sing, even when he had to go off like a couple of times more. And yeah, he was just incredible. Absolutely. And he said that it was, his theory was that it was due to eating 70 nicotine gum pieces during the day. And
also, he, in an interview since, he said that, what did he say? Something like 2 double espressos and cocodamol and the nicotine gum.
So he had a little
mix.
bit of a mixture of different things going on. I'm sure he was a little bit nervous for the gig, actually.
Yeah.
It's probably a little, it's such a size of gig, probably a little bit nervous about it. So anyway, but he gave an incredible show, and it really didn't detract from it. At some point when he was talking about it, he was like, oh, no, I'm serious. This isn't, me putting it on. And then for Angels, he reappeared in his black dressing gown.
Yeah.
Which initially we thought, oh, it's part of the show. And Lucy said to me, oh, maybe he's got I reckon he's got like a Munich Munchen football top on underneath. But no, it's because he threw up all over his other costume and they didn't have time to sort it out. And yeah, he just put his dressing gown on for Angels. And there was no encore after that, was there?
No,
it was
that
just
was
Angels
it.
and done. So...
And then we had been threatened with rain all day, but thankfully it didn't rain, and the rain only started during Angels, the very last song. It was meant to be.
Yeah, absolutely. One thing I would say, though, even though the entry wasn't great, the organisation wasn't great, and we feel like really bad for anybody that, had an awful experience, because some people did. And even though the crowd weren't necessarily like what we're used to, moving that all aside, the gig he gave and the band and the singers and everybody was, I thought, absolutely awesome.
Yeah.
And the light show that went with it, and it was just spot on show.
Yeah. Although I wasn't keen on having a spotlight from the stage shining directly into my face for a lot of the gig, to the point that I actually had to put my hand up to shield my eyes so that I could see past it. It was right in my face so much.
Yeah. I guess the compromise was the B stage was quite low. So we were kind of at foot height, weren't we, where he was? And I've actually seen it be higher than that before.
Yeah.
And so, so the lights and everything were, that particular light was straight in your face.
Yeah.
But what happened partway through the gig? I did offer.
He did keep offering to swap with me, and in the end, I'd had enough. I couldn't have that light in my face anymore. So we swapped. Yeah.
And then the auto key was in the way. It was in my face, yeah. Anyway, we can't really complain. The position that we had, it was incredible. So, yes, if you haven't seen any of our photos from that, then you definitely need to check our socials. There was some really lovely photos from that. So, Munich was incredible.
And then, obviously, after that, Rob went on to play the gig in Bonn for Deutsche Telekom for the 250th delayed birthday of Beethoven. And apparently all our friends who went said that it was a very different concert to Munich. He was much more relaxed and it just felt so much more intimate after the massive Munich
25,000 people, was it?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
So
we couldn't go, unfortunately. We'd have loved to have done, but had to get back home.
So yeah, that was meant to be a very good show.
Yeah, from what we saw of it, he did look incredibly relaxed. I guess it was light and shade difference from doing a massive, 90,000 people gig to 25,000. It probably felt like performing in someone's front room.
So obviously this week also the brand new album 25 has come out, which is very exciting.
Yes.
We stayed up till about 1 o'clock in the morning listening to it.
We did. We had a little bit of a listen party. Good.
I think we didn't listen to the songs in order. We just went straight to
the new ones.
Nobody Someday, just because we were fascinated to hear that as a real version. And then we played the new songs. And then we basically randomly picked which songs we wanted to listen to. And I don't think we did listen to them all at that time. There was a few that we didn't get to because we had to go to bed. But
I might have sneakily listened to them all as you were getting ready for bed, I think.
But yeah, we've managed to listen to it a few times now, and my favourite is Disco Symphony, I think.
Yeah, I know you were well excited about that one coming out.
But I am gutted that.
Why were you so excited about that one coming out? Tell us.
Because we'd heard the version from The Boy in the Dress, and we thought this version might have Kylie on it, because that's what he said. There is a version of him singing it with Kylie, so I was excited for that. But Kylie's not on it. However, it's still a great song, and the lyrics are different to the Boy in the Dress version. I just love it.
Well, I'm still settling into it, I think. It's very different to hear songs that have been so ingrained in our lives for such a long time in a different style. And I think actually each time I've listened to it a lot now, each time I listen to it, I'm sort of hearing something slightly different. But the one I really, really like is Lost. Really like Lost. And Kids, actually.
Yeah, I was going to say
the new Very Cool
Kids.
with Kylie of Kids is... There's something very special about that. There's a little bit of rawness to their voices in it, and I really like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the others, I'm still going to have to listen more, but...
I like all the new songs. It's just exciting to have new songs to listen to.
Yeah.
But we'll obviously do a 25 episode later on, so we'll save more of our thoughts for that episode.
Yeah. It's just a little initial snippet there.
Yes. Also, I want to say how lovely the artwork is. I've got the deluxe CD in front of me and all the little pictures inside. You know, some real thought and effort has gone into making it look good.
It's really nice, actually. A little bit of an introduction from Chris Heath at the beginning.
Yeah. Also nice that on quite a few of the signed copies that we've seen, some of our friends have received, that some of Rob's children have signed copies. We've seen some signed.
Yeah.
Someone had one signed just by Teddy. Another had one. Someone on Twitter had it signed by Teddy and Charlie. Our friend Sarah from the Take the Crown episode was fortunate enough to get Coco and Charlie their signatures as well as Rob's.
Oh, I love the fact that he's got the kids on the signings.
Yeah.
I bet they enjoy it. I bet they enjoy it for a little while and then probably get bored of it, but, as Rob probably does as well. But must be nice bringing the family in. It must sort of take his mind off the boredom of doing it as well.
Yeah.
Even though I'm sure he loves doing it for fans, it must get a bit repetitive.
Yeah. And then obviously the Radio 2 Leeds concert has been cancelled this weekend, which is obviously due to the Queen, which we're quite sad about, but I guess it's understandable. Yeah,
at the time of recording, just in case people are listening to this afterwards, the Queen died on
Thursday.
The
8th of September.
8th of September. Yeah, we should better remember that because it's our son's birthday. And yeah, I think the BBC, as out of a mark of respect, probably cancelled more than just Leeds. Actually, there was probably other outside things that they were probably doing. I think it was probably every kind of event like that was cancelled. So a bit of a shame because
it's all
3
of
of 8 that were going to be there.
I know.
Lucy was excited about that.
I was so excited to see Robbie, Mark and Ollie on the same stage. I wasn't going to see Howard because he would have been in the DJ
But
tent.
who'd have known you might have come up and done a bit of breakdancing on stage. But anyway, that's not to be. No, that's the and that's out of respect for the Queen. And of course, yes, we understand that. We would have liked the concert to have gone ahead anyway, really. But all due respect to Queen Elizabeth.
But it's a bit of a shame that the fact that the Queen has died this week means that all of Rob's planned promo has probably gone out of the window. They haven't even put a single post on any of his social media about the album being out, which is obviously a mark of respect to the Queen. So it's just unfortunate timing, really.
It is respectful to do that, and obviously for those people that aren't in the UK, there's a national period of mourning where a lot of events are cancelled, a lot of promotion, like social media and certain TV programmes and certain things are just cancelled or just
like the National Television Awards, which Robbie was also performing at.
He was also going to be on there. So a lot of the exposure that he was going to have around the album release, I would say it's probably more been put on pause. I mean, certain things have been cancelled completely, but I think we'll see him back again, won't we?
Yeah.
After the kind of national period of mourning and the funeral and everything. But I'm sure that and so we've got the tour to look forward to now, Lucy.
Yeah, very exciting.
That's what we've got to look forward to now.
Yeah. Good. So I think we've probably wrapped up a lot of the news, and we can move on to the episode with Karen.
Yeah, enjoy the episode with Karen.
Today we're talking about the first half of Robbie's The Heavy Entertainment Show album and the promo gigs that he did for the album at the end of 2016. And our special guest is Karen from Wales.
Hello, Karen.
Yay. Hello. Yay.
Hello.
Thanks for joining us.
Very happy to have you on.
Okay, thanks for having me.
Yeah.
So tell us, Karen, how did you become a Robbie fan?
Oh, right. Okay, here's a story. Well, obviously, I was a bit old to be into boy bands at the time because I was having my children.
Yeah.
They were young, they were babies. So it wasn't until Elliot, I think my eldest, he was about 3, and Robbie had sort of left Take That, even though I used to Take That. It was like a secret guilty crush, And it was my youngest, or my eldest, sorry, he was into Take That and Robbie. And he used to do impressions of them on holiday and things. So we bought him the album, through a lens. And I was like, hey, this is all right, actually, this album. So it was more of getting into Robbie first, then, Take That, and then Robbie after.
Yeah.
So, it was through Elliot, basically. And Elliot was winning competitions when we were going on holiday and doing impressions of him on stage.
Wow.
So that was quite fun. Yeah. So, yeah, that's it.
Does he still do impressions?
No, God, no. No. I did take him to see Robbie when he was 7.
Yeah.
He sort of likes him. I think that's where his love of music have come from, because he did a music degree in the end.
Yeah.
But he's into his own. He likes all this Japanese stuff, So, yeah, strange.
Yeah.
Right.
But that's Elliot for you. Yeah. And I sort of took over the love of Robbie.
Yeah. You caught the bug.
Yeah, caught the bug big time.
So have you got a favourite song?
Have I got a favourite song? There are so many. I do like, and it's never played at a concert. And the one time he did it, I wasn't there.
Oh.
He did it at Hyde Park. Let Love Be Your Energy.
Oh,
I
yeah.
absolutely love that. It's one of those that's never mentioned.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like Revolution.
Oh,
Yeah,
I like
we
that
like
one.
that, yeah.
Yeah, we like that one, don't we? Yeah.
There are loads, but off the top of my head, those two.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh yeah, there's loads. perhaps they'll click into place as we go along.
Have you got a favourite album?
A favourite album? Yes. Sing When You're Winning.
Okay.
The first Sing. Yeah. Sing, definitely. But that was the one that, but the first concert that I went to. Because like Robbie, this first solo concert for me anyway. So that was like 2008, something like that.
Sing When You're Winning was like 2000.
Was it?
Yeah.
Good God.
Yeah.
Well, that was it then. Yeah. Yeah. Good God. I didn't think it was that far away.
Yeah, it was.
Getting old. Getting old.
And have you got a favourite live show or concert that you've been to or tour?
Oh God. I like the Swing tour.
Mm-hmm.
I love my favourite one was the Magic Christmas one.
Yeah.
You know, we were all there. That's when I first met you too, I think.
I was there. Matt wasn't there. Yeah.
Oh, right, it was you.
Yeah.
That was brilliant.
It was
Absolutely brilliant.
Yeah. Because we had
it was like
the drinks and
we had all that food and drink. Yeah,
Posh
and we were
day,
all
wasn't it?
drunk.
yeah,
It was. we were all heckling.
That's why I wasn't allowed in.
It was brilliant. Yeah, that was a good one.
Yeah.
I would have gone into retirement after that one because it was so good.
Yeah.
But there's just been so many. The other one was like the little one that he did.
Under the Radar.
Under the Radar. Oh, yeah, that was another good one. I forgot about that. No, not that one.
The Apple Music Festival.
Yes, that was brilliant.
Yes.
I absolutely loved that one.
Yeah.
Because you hadn't seen him for a while, and that was like a comeback,
That's
wasn't
right.
it?
Yeah.
After about 18 months.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he had the nice
brill.
butterfly suit on.
Yes. Oh, God, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was great.
It was. I think that's the first time I really remember meeting you, was in that queue. I know we met in the Magic queue, but I think we weren't near each other. But in the Apple Music Festival, we were next to each other in the queue.
I think we were, because we camped, didn't we, for the Apple Music?
Yes, we did.
We were all sort of there.
Yeah.
And like, were you a +1?
Yeah, I was Bobby's.
That's
+1.
right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ah, right. So you might have been behind me in the queue then.
Yeah, I was. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was
Perhaps that's
great.
why. But I can remember us all being there outside watching the Palladium, whatever, on iPads and things, because Robbie was on there that night the night before with Ollie Murs.
Was he? Oh, I
Remember
don't remember that.
Yeah, doing the what's it called?
Oh,
Jungle Book song.
I want to
I
be
wanna
like you.
you.
Yeah, that one. Yeah,
Yeah, that one. Yeah.
yeah, that one. Yeah.
I'm surprised you can't remember Robbie and Ollie performing. Two
Well,
of
I
your
do
favourites.
remember it, but I don't remember watching it outside there.
Outside the graveyard.
I think I remember being told to make sure it was recorded because I
Yeah.
didn't go to that gig.
Oh, you weren't there because that's why you didn't. Another reason you didn't go because you weren't there, and I had to get your dad to babysit.
Oh, I was away.
Your dad
right.
had to take a day off work to come and look after
well
the
done.
kids.
Thanks, Dad.
Yeah. Bless him. So tell us, have you got a favourite memory or moment that you've had with Robbie over the years?
Oh God. No, not really. It is. Yes, actually, yes.
Ah.
I'm telling a lie. back in. He did Progress
Mm-hmm.
with Take That,
Yeah.
and they came to Cardiff, and I studied everybody else's YouTube videos
Yeah.
of that concert to find out where he was going to be and where he spent most of his time on stage,
Mm-hmm.
so that I could aim for that spot when I went in to watch him in Cardiff.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what I did.
Excellent.
Anyway, I had the ideal spot, and it was right in front of him. Even though the gap between the stage was quite large,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
he was still there, you know. But do you know when he went out on that sort of like travelator thing?
Yeah.
It was like a triangular thing, and he was stood on there.
A
He
feel.
came right over my head, and I had my Welsh flag, and I was sort of like trying to reach up for this flag, and he couldn't reach it, and he went down. He got back on the stage, and he sent a security man over to take the flag.
Oh,
So he took the whole place just erupted because he had the Welsh flag on,
yeah.
which was brilliant. And of course, there's me then. Oh my God, you got my flag. So he took that up on stage. Of course, I wanted it back.
Yeah.
Of course.
He worn it. I wanted it back.
Yeah.
So the show carried on, and then sort of he was on stage then with Take That and everything. And all the way through the show, there was like a bit of banter going on. Because I was like, where's my flag? And he was like, I don't know. And it was like, well, I want it back. And he was like, oh, you bloody nuts and stupid thing, all the way through, So that was like really nice. But at the end of the night, Take That did a song, and then they all sort of ran down the walkway.
Yeah.
And he came running around. He ran straight past to the end, and then he came back. He stopped dead in front of me, and he grabbed my hand, and he said, I'm really sorry. He said, I can't find your flag.
Oh.
I was like, oh, I know. I was like, oh my God. But that was that.
Oh, bless
He was
him.
gone.
I love that.
Yeah. That's a long time ago. Long time ago.
Yeah. I've never heard that story before.
No, that's a new one.
Oh.
Oh,
Yeah.
he took the time to come and speak to
I
you.
know, yeah, but he knew exactly where I was
Yeah,
as well, which
yeah.
is really funny because he'd run past first and then he sort of come back and stopped dead.
Yeah.
It was brilliant.
Oh.
Yeah, I never got the flag back.
Oh.
No,
Oh, wow. You've got the
Shame.
memories.
I've got the memories. Yeah, yeah. But I did when I went. He did Cardiff then the next time with
Heavy entertainment show.
yes. Then he took my flag again, and this time I had it back. So
He's
I
learned
made
his
sure I
lesson.
got it back. So each time he's come to Cardiff, he's had my flag.
Oh.
Yeah.
You didn't have to put Karen's Welsh flag on the front
Yeah.
of it, did you?
Well, next time I think I will. Yeah, just so he knows.
Oh, great for getting Wales on the stage as well.
Yeah, exactly that. Oh dear.
So have you ever met Robbie?
Yes, yeah. The first time. Oh yes, we got papped the first time,
Ah.
which was outside of the Palladium, the day of the Palladium show,
Yeah.
Yes.
and it was actually my birthday.
Oh.
So that was like a brilliant birthday present. So yes, only for a few seconds he was
Was
there.
that as he was going in or coming out?
As he was going in, he was
Right.
very orange, like on the false tan.
Oh, yes.
And I think, I'm not sure who it was that told me that he'd been trying to scrub it off. So you could see, like his
Yeah.
face was like really, really red.
Jocelyn said in her episode on when she was at that show backstage. she
Oh,
was on
right.
stage,
Yes, that's
Yeah.
right.
She
Yeah.
said that she heard.
She was there with me.
Yes.
When we met.
I remember
Yeah.
she told the story. Yeah,
Oh,
she
she
mentioned
did,
that they
yeah.
saw.
But she said that the makeup ladies were annoyed that he'd put all that tan on and they were trying to find something to get it off.
Right.
Because he looked a different colour to the scenes that they'd already
He was.
recorded,
Yeah.
and the continuity wasn't working.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
That was the reason behind it. I
Yeah.
didn't realise.
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny. That's funny. So, yeah.
And then
But yeah, Jocelyn was there.
right. And then after
Okay.
that, I think you've met him again, have you?
Right, okay. So that time, it was great because I had a card which I'd caught from Take the Crown. Do you know, like when he threw the cards out in Me and My
Oh, yeah.
Monkey? So I had that signed, which was fab. Didn't say a lot. I was quite surprised at how tall he was.
Yeah, he is.
But I didn't realise. And so we got papped during that, which was brilliant because it's a good picture. And then the second time was outside the magic show, the
Ah.
magic Christmas show.
Yeah.
Yes. And he was there for a while.
Yeah, and I was sat
so-
around the front and I missed it all.
Being a good girl around the front.
Yeah.
It was so cold, but he was fab. He was fab. Yeah. I just like always open my mouth and say the wrong thing. I always feel like, for God's sake, just shut up. But I'm so excited, you know, I'm just like babbling on, and you must think, oh my God, just that mental woman again.
No.
But yeah. Yeah.
So, what does Robbie mean to you?
Oh, what does he mean to me? Robbie is just like a laugh. He's good fun. Yeah, he doesn't take anything. I know. Saying that, he doesn't take anything too seriously. If you know what I mean. He likes to laugh. He likes to mess about, and so when they say, "Oh, Robbie," it's like, yeah, we're gonna have fun.
Yeah,
You know, we're gonna have fun. We're gonna have a good time, and yeah, that's it. Yeah, good.
Yeah.
Great.
So all go and sing and dance and have fun.
yeah,
Yes.
definitely.
Go into Robbie land.
Yeah, exactly. And see our friends.
Yes.
Yeah.
All our friends. Yeah, that's the best bit.
So, if you could ask him one question or say one thing to him, what would it be?
Oh my God. I'd apologise for always like messing up what I'm going to say to him. Because I'm always like, oh God. I always like make a big idiot of myself, you know? So yeah, I always say something stupid. So I don't know. Yeah, probably. Sorry, Rob.
I'm sure the things you say aren't that stupid,
No,
Karen.
no.
I'm sure.
They
it's,
are. They are.
I'm sure he knows
honestly.
they come from the heart, even if they're little different.
I just can't even think of anything. It's just like, why did I say that? You know, afterwards, it's like, why? For God's sake. But there we are.
So, have you got any other great memories that you would like to share?
Oh, there's been loads. We've had some really, really good times. I've been fortunate with Zoe, because like Zoe's the lucky one that always wins everything.
Yeah.
I'm close. I'm close to getting there, you know.
Yeah.
But like Zoe, like twice I've been on the line with Zoe for a competition win
Oh yeah.
for the radio.
Yeah.
Twice. You know, not the first one was the magic one, I think.
Mm-hmm.
The December one.
Yeah.
And then the other one was the one it was like a little intimate one for the heavy entertainment show promo.
Yes.
And again, we were on the same line. We were both there waiting to be asked the questions. And Zoe always picks me to the post. They always pick her, probably because she's from Stoke.
Yeah, I think that probably does help.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'm like on the other line thinking, no.
Yeah, but at least it's your friend that's on the other line.
Well, yeah, it's that's right. Yeah. Yeah, that's true. Yeah. But it would be nice to be able to win one for her as well, you
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
and sort of like pay back.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think I did win the Apple tickets. So she was my +1 for that one.
Ah, there you go.
But yeah, we've been fortunate with Zoe.
Right.
Well, maybe
she's
there'll
good.
be a
She's lucky
competition
I'm
for
not.
the upcoming tour.
Yeah.
You never know. You'll have to keep your eyes out for
That
that.
would be nice, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hopefully there will be.
Yeah. And perhaps a seat at the front where I haven't got a queue all night.
Yeah.
Yes. VIP.
VIP one, yeah. Never mind.
So, should we talk about the heavy entertainment show?
Yes, let's do it.
Yes. So it was announced in May 2016 that Rob had signed with Columbia Records, who are owned by Sony Music. He said, "They're inspired. I'm inspired. I'm more ready than I ever have been, and I'm totally convinced I'm in the right place. I look forward to working on this album, which is an album I'm immensely proud of, in this exciting new partnership." The album was announced in TV adverts on 25th of September, just before Robbie came on stage at the Apple Music Festival. You both mentioned.
Yes. Yes. I remember it well.
Exciting though, isn't it, that you were there? And that
Yeah, it
announcement
Oh, it
is.
was. Do you remember, Karen?
Yeah, I do, yeah.
We were all sat at the barrier and suddenly,
Yes.
I think was
Yeah.
it Petra said, "Oh my God, there's an advert come out," and he's saying about selling his children to get hit in Belgium.
That's like, yes. then there's a story behind that, which we'll go into later.
Yes, okay. Remember that one.
Yeah. I forgot about that. Yeah.
So it was released on the 4th of November 2016. The Heavy Entertainment Show was number 1 in the UK, Netherlands, Ireland and Switzerland, 2 in Germany, 3 in Austria, Belgium and Czech Republic, 4 in Australia and 5 in Italy. It was number 14 in the UK chart of 2016, staying in the top 10 for 8 weeks. It's been certified platinum in the UK, 3 times gold in Switzerland, gold in Australia, Austria, Germany, Italy and Netherlands.
Rob said, I wanted 10 clear singles on this album. Pop, big choruses, sound good in stadiums, joyous, silly. Me and Guy got back together for the Swing album, and the natural progression was to work with him again on the big pop album. So it starts where my career started, with me and Guy in a studio trying to make something happen. We have a history of producing some big stuff, big songs and big albums. What used to happen was he'd sit down and play the guitar, and I would sing live as he was playing the guitar. But now, I don't have the patience to wait for the hit to show itself out of a bunch of songs. I just want to hear the backing tracks. So that's changed since the last time we worked together. But what happens is, we sit in a room, I sing to try and come up with a nice melody and sing some nice meaningful words.
I've opened myself up to the prospect of working with people I haven't worked with before and people I don't know, because I've realised how hard it is to get the undefinable hit record, and you've got to keep squirreling away. Whereas in the past, for the first 5 albums, we've written 16 songs, let's go, we'll find a single. Now it's find the single, not only a single, but the single. The way I look at it in the charts, there's maybe 4 songs a year that are worldwide hits. There's not many like Uptown Funk or Shake It Off. I'm trying to find one of them.
Rob thought up the title for the album in January 2014, nearly 3 years before it was even out. In Reveal, he explained to Chris Heath, when I was a child, there were 3 TV channels, which meant that the whole of Britain was having a shared experience on mass levels. And the TV screen in the corner of the room, the people on it were gods. They made me happy. I wanted to be in the TV screen and walk amongst the gods that reside there, but I didn't know how I was going to do it. It seemed that from where I was sitting to where they were was just like me stretching an elastic band from Stoke-on-Trent to Venus, and I didn't know how I was going to get there. I just knew that I wanted to. These people on a Saturday night in England, what they were doing was called light entertainment. But the power of light entertainment was so big to me, it was incredibly heavy entertainment. So much so that it spurred me on having a career trying to emulate who they were. Hence, the Heavy Entertainment Show.
During promo, Rob told his manager Michael it was annoying him that journalists kept missing off the Heavy Entertainment Show. Michael realised that was because that's what the promo said, and that was what was printed on the CD sleeve, which Rob had approved. 300,000 copies of the deluxe version had already been printed, but it could be changed for the standard edition. Rob said, I'd like the on. It's only going to annoy me, and I'm aware that I've looked at the album, but I didn't realise that there was a the missing. Might as well get it right. Rob got the idea for the album cover after seeing a similar design on a book, and he was photographed by Julian Broad.
Rob told The Sun, I've been to therapy again this year. It's a big do putting an album out, speaking to people like yourself and going on TV shows and then doing it again, country after country. Even if I was the most sound person, it would be stressful. And I'm not the most sound person. I'm the opposite of that. I just want everyone to love me. I want a successful album, a successful tour where I am loved and valued. Quite often, it's the opposite of that, and hatred comes, and you can't fight against it.
He confesses that as he's got older, he's learned to deal with his depression. With this album, I tried to hit the ball down the middle of the fairway. I just wanted a big sounding album. The aim was to get 10 or 11 singles, and I wrote 70 plus songs for this album, which is more than I've ever written before. I think it's my best album. It knows what it wants to be, whereas in the past I'd been experimenting and dipping in and out of everything. This is Robbie the Entertainer, and I'm very excited.
And Robbie again told The Sun that he buried the hatchet with Guy after Guy realised his worth. I've always loved Guy. He is my musical brother, but I think the success of our first albums ran away with him a little bit, and it annoyed me. I wasn't getting enough recognition, which was important to me then. When our musical relationship broke up, I discussed it with him. Well, it wasn't a discussion. It was me shouting and pointing my finger at him while he cowered in a corner. But now Guy knows what I bring to the table, and we have love and respect for each other.
Enemy gave it 4 stars. Some of the album is questionable. Take the unwieldy big band swing of the title track and the forgettable Love My Life, a vanilla ballad that sees Robbie lament his past mistakes. But there is gold here too. Motherfucker is a warm pop rock banger addressed to his baby son. Much of the album confirms that Robbie's reconciliation with his estranged, hit-making songwriter Guy Chambers was one worth making, helping him recapture some of the verve of his early noughties imperial phase. There's still no other British pop star quite as entertaining and unpredictable.
Art magazine wrote, "The Heavy Entertainment Show has been criticised for style hopping all over the place. That's indeed what the album does. Consequently, it sounds like a best-of record on which Robbie Williams showcases every single facet of his music. There's glam rock, there's 90 ballads, and there's straightforward pop. All of it is good, some of it is brilliant. The album features hardly any filler tracks, which all previous Robbie Williams albums, yes, even Escapology and Sing When You're Winning, had quite a few of. Therefore, the Heavy Entertainment Show is certainly as good as his career-defining records. Quite possibly, it's even better." So there we go.
So what do we think overall of the Heavy Entertainment Show?
There are some big tracks on there.
Yeah.
And there's also some, to me, but this is my personal thing, some forgettable ones as well.
Mm-hmm.
When I first heard this one, I was expecting to hear HES from the other album.
Yeah.
Yes.
And we were at the barrier in
at the Apple Music.
At the Apple Music. I was like, it's not it.
This isn't
it's
HES.
not that song.
Yeah.
But we couldn't quite hear it properly because there was like other music playing while we were all waiting for him to come on. But so it was different. But I love it. I absolutely love the first track. It is like got to be one of the best ones, especially for a come on song.
Yes.
And like we've seen it for ourselves, so we know, the impact that it actually has.
Yeah.
But it's like my favourite line. Come and watch me while you can. Because everyone's sort of dying.
Yeah.
Or
Yes.
were at that particular time. All the big names were dying off.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's like, look at me. Here I am.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Love it. Yeah. You know what I mean.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. No,
Yeah.
very good.
But it's brilliant. And the Belgium line, going back to that story, obviously like Petra was ecstatic that was actually in there. And the next morning we were in the hotel and she was talking about that. There was Jay, myself and Petra. And we were talking about that. And along came Tom, the guitarist.
Ah.
And he sat down and we had breakfast with him.
Oh, right.
And he sat there and he was like talking about different, because she said something about, wasn't there a big thing about they have to have some sort of permission to use certain lines in Party Like a Russian.
Right. Yeah.
Something along those lines. We weren't quite sure.
Yeah.
Yes. So she was asking him all about that, and of course, he sat down and we had breakfast with him. So we had a nice conversation. Yeah, it was lovely. It's really nice. Nice nice man.
Oh.
Yeah.
Nice that he bothered to sit with you. He could have just.
Yeah,
sat
exactly.
elsewhere.
But he got his food and he came and sat with us. Oh. So real fab.
Oh.
Really nice.
So what did you think, Lucy, when you heard about the Heavy Entertainment Show and started listening to it?
He really went to town on all the promo for this album, didn't he? He was on everything.
Mm-hmm.
Every
Yeah.
radio station, every TV show, it was
Which
just
he probably didn't
everywhere.
really enjoy.
No,
be
probably
honest.
not. No,
But
it certainly got the word out there about the album,
it
didn't it?
did.
It was great that he did loads of intimate gigs, and he even went to Australia as well to do some promo,
Yeah.
which I'm sure the Australians loved. It's just good that he was fully on board
Yeah.
to support the album.
I think, and as one of the quotes said, I think it said about style hopping all over the place. I like the fact that it's an eclectic mix of songs. Sometimes albums sort of feel a bit, not by him necessarily, but sometimes albums can feel a bit samey, and his generally don't. They're usually quite a mix. So I think the mix works. It was very carefully selected, and I like the overall energy, the vibe, the buzz around, and especially, like you said, Lucy, the buzz when it was first released. It was everywhere.
Yeah.
But as fans, obviously, we love that because there was so many opportunities to hear him answer the same question 5 different ways, as he sometimes does. Loved the theming, the kind of, not really a boxing fan, but I did quite like the boxing theming. I thought that worked pretty well. It was quite powerful.
I don't watch the videos normally, but when you told me I was doing this album, I watched the video for the first time. And it was like, all about the boxing part.
Yeah.
Yes.
It was a really good video, actually.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah.
Because he's like fighting himself. you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really clever.
Yeah. Yeah, really good.
Hi, I'm Robbie Williams, and you're listening to Robbie Williams Rewind with the Champions.
So should we talk about, we've talked a little bit about Heavy Entertainment Show, the song, but should we find out a little bit more about that?
Let's say a bit more about that. So released on the 25th of September 2016 on Spotify and the iTunes store as a promo single to promote the fact the album had been announced. It was written by Rob, Guy, Chris Heath and Rufus Wainwright. It was produced by Guy and Richard Flack. It incorporates elements of Je n'avais qu'une seule mot à lui dire.
Well done.
Which, considering I did French A-level, I didn't say very well.
Oh, that was perfect.
Which basically means I don't have a good word to say to you, by Serge Gainsbourg, regarded as one of the most important figures in French pop, renowned for often provocative and scandalous releases which caused uproar in France. He wrote over 550 songs and had a very varied musical style.
The Heavy Entertainment Show was written the day David Bowie died. Rob and Guy had the idea to have a new song to start the stadium tour, with Let Me Entertain You coming second. They asked Rufus to help them write the song based on the title Rob had come up with. Guy created the initial melody, Rufus wrote the opening line, Good evening, children of cultural abandon. The next lines were inspired by David's death, You've searched for a saviour, well here I am, and all the best ones are dying off so quickly. Well, I'm still here, enjoy me while you can. During writing, Guy said, I think that it's great, it's quite touching. Rob replied, and egoic and narcissistic, as though that's keeping up his appearance.
Comedian Steve First recorded an opener, Ladies and Gentlemen, the world's greatest entertainer, weighing in at £200 million, reigning light and heavy entertainment champion of the world, here tonight in peak musical condition, Mr. Robbie Williams. But it was just decided it was better without it.
Oh.
So there you go. In the track by track, Rob said, it's a track that's bombastic, grandiose, silly, theatrical, glorious, I hope. When me and Guy get together, we can write some silly and pompous songs. And if you've got a good sense of humour and don't take yourself too seriously, then I'm sure you will love this song. I'm sure it won't make me any new fans in journalist land, but it's my introduction to the album, and it will be the introduction to the tour too. The Heavy Entertainment Show is a good start to the album because it says, welcome to the Heavy Entertainment Show. And that is going to be my life for the next 18 months while this album is promoted and toured. I like the grandiose entry. On the backing singers line, when they sing, he would sell his children for a hit in Belgium, I think it would have to be the whole of Benelux countries, not just Belgium. Maybe the second born. Honestly, what was he like?
Bugger.
Oh, bless.
So, Karen, we've heard a little bit about your thoughts on this song.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a great song, isn't it? I just love it. It's a perfect opener.
It is a perfect opener. And we've, like I said, we saw some promo and we went to the Troxy.
Yes.
And that was the opener for that one as well.
Yes.
Which was absolutely brilliant. That was another good show that we forgot to mention earlier.
Yeah.
That was fantastic.
Oh, yeah.
And with that as well, we were right on that boxing ring. So when he came in with his stuff on and then he took it all off and the wires came down and it was like, oh my God. Just excitement. It's just excitement. And it's fab.
is.
Absolutely brilliant.
Yeah.
I loved it.
Yeah.
I loved it. Yeah.
I love how the verse and the chorus are so different on this song.
Yes.
And it kind of makes the chorus even more powerful.
Yeah.
And it's nice to have a different song to Let Me Entertain You at the beginning, isn't it? Gets a bit...
Yeah.
I still love Let Me Entertain You, but sometimes it's just nice to change things, isn't it?
Well, particularly when it's one that's written for us. Well, I don't mean
Yeah.
us. I mean the fans, us.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
it feels when he sings it as though he's actually singing it for the hardcore
exactly,
fans, which is, well, most of the lines are about that, aren't they? You know,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why not leave your job and come on tour with us before I drop dead and die?
some of us did. Well, we didn't leave our jobs, but we did go on tour quite a lot, didn't we?
Yeah.
I think so. We did. It was fab.
And
Loved it.
I am notorious for making all the crowd sing the chorus.
Glorious.
It's just a
Yeah.
genius line.
I just made up that word.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And where
I reckon that was Rufus.
you think...
That was something Rufus would add on the end.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
He's
yeah.
quite a cheeky lyricist, isn't he?
He
Yeah.
is cheeky.
Yes.
Yeah.
where Eminem meets Barry Manilow. It's just perfect.
Yeah, that works.
You know,
very
that's
well.
just his
Very
two
appropriate.
different sides of his musical taste.
Yeah.
Yeah. Definitely.
I just love the simple piano opening. You know, ding, 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 ding. That's probably wrong, but you know, it's that.
Yeah.
Just a few keys on the piano, and then that brass section kicks in. Oh my God! When you're watching it live, it just sends a shiver down your spine, and then it calms back down again, and it just gets you, and it's just, and then it kicks right back off again. It's just. The emotion it stirs up in you is just, and also obviously we're all excited for the concert as well. So there's just something, you're just basically tingling when that song is on.
Yeah.
It's brilliant.
And as I said, it just feels totally as though he's written it for the fans. I love the cheeky, sarcastic, tongue-in-cheek style of it. It's brilliant in a stadium. It's brilliant live. All the lyrics are good. I mean, you mentioned the one I was going to mention about Curious. I like that.
Sorry.
And then, have you said this one? Good evening, lovers of quality entertainment. Good evening to the others that don't know hit. Even you will leave here with a T-shirt and a program. Got a house in LA, still paying for it.
For it.
You know, someone asked him once in chat whether he really was still paying for his house in LA. And he said, no, I'm not.
No, I'd imagine that's paid off a while ago.
Yeah.
It just worked well on those lines, didn't it? Yeah.
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 The
Brilliant.
one line that I found interesting, welcome to the Heavy Entertainment Show, where the more you see, the less you know.
Mm-mm.
And I kind of took that to mean that all those people out there that think that he's like really arrogant on stage
Yes.
and that's all they see, you know.
That's all they judge him on.
Yeah, the less you know, because actually he's not like that in reality. Do you see what I mean? So the more arrogance you see, the less you know about him. Yeah, I just found that's what I took that to mean.
I think it's very true.
Yeah.
We know the character he's playing, don't we?
Yeah.
So should we have a quick word on the video?
Yeah.
So a promotional video was directed by Vaughan Arnell, marking their 16th collaboration. It appeared in the adverts used to promote the album's release.
Karen, I don't know if you remember this, but in the Apple Music queue, which we keep talking about, I know, but it was
A lot happened in this
It
queue,
did,
didn't it?
yeah. It was very,
It was the best queue ever.
it was, yeah.
Well, it wasn't quite because I wasn't there, but you know.
Oh, you were.
He
Were you
wasn't.
there?
Not there, no.
No, because I was Bobby's +1.
I have a feeling I was travelling
No,
somewhere.
you were at home with the kids.
Oh, I thought you said I was away for it.
No, that was
the other
the
one.
magic gig.
I was just kept at home with the kids.
Because he didn't have a
Matt.
ticket.
Oh yeah, you had to have tickets.
God.
So obviously
Competition winners.
Lucy
only.
managed to get one, and
Yeah.
plus one. But
But anyway, the night before, remember on that Saturday night in Camden, we were in the queue, and
Oh,
loads
God,
of people
yeah.
kept talking to us because everyone was drunk Saturday night
Yeah.
going to the pub.
Yeah.
And this one group of lads came and spoke to us and said, "Why are you here?" And we explained we're seeing Robbie, queuing for Robbie, and he said, "Oh, my mate's just filmed a video with him. It's in a boxing ring." And we were like, "Yeah, whatever." Like, none of us, we were all like, "Well, he's never done a video in a
Yes.
boxing ring, so you're talking rubbish."
Yeah.
And then literally 24 hours later, it came out, and we were like, "Oh my God, that bloke was telling us the
Yeah.
truth."
Because they'd all had a drink as well. It was like, oh yeah, whatever. Like Pete 118, I'm going to be a security man tomorrow. Yeah, whatever. And there he was. It was that sort of thing, wasn't
Yeah,
it?
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh
It
God.
was just a funny moment.
That was a real bad cue. Well, experience the night before.
Yeah.
It could have been a lot worse,
Yeah.
but we were lucky. I think they were pretty good.
Yeah.
They were pretty good.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So it was a good video though anyway.
Yeah.
I like he got a national treasure on the back of the green Robbie dressing gown.
yeah,
And then obviously the red one was the one he took on tour, which he opened each concert
Yeah.
with.
mm-hmm.
But the boxing ring will always make me think of Robbie asking Liam Gallagher to do a boxing
Yes.
match with him. I wonder what Liam thinks of that video.
I love the fact that he's playing multiple roles in the video as well. So he's the
Yeah.
ringmaster, and then he's also the boxer, and then we find out that he's also playing the other boxer too. Green Robbie versus red Robbie, as you said, Lucy. And of course, his lovely dancers are in the video as well. Lots of those raunchy movements and everything else. There's lots of surreal moments in it as well. Like he's bleeding gold from his nose at one point.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what's that all about? And, they keep focusing in on the gum shields, and there's dancers straddling him in the corner when he's having his little break. And then you also see in one of the corners, there's a sponsor on the side, and the sponsor's Hotel Crazy. And I'm sure I saw that before, but it was just like,
Yeah.
I missed that.
there's another song from the
Missed
album.
that.
Yeah.
It's only flashed up for a few seconds, and all in all, though, it's a bit gory for those that don't like that sort of thing. There's a lot of heads being thumped and punched, and blood and weird stuff going on. But it's an eye-catching video overall.
It is. Let's talk about Party Like a Russian, the second song. Released on the 30th of September 2016 as the first official single from the album, written by Rob Guy and Chris Heath, produced by Guy and Richard Flack. It samples the strings from Dance of the Nights from Romeo and Juliet by Sergei Prokofiev, otherwise known as the theme from the BBC Apprentice show.
Ah, that one. No, well. It hit number 68 in the UK, 12 in Hungary, and 18 in Belgium. Everybody on Rob's team knew that with the change in the singles charts, and with how Rob's fan base typically don't stream, it was improbable Party Like a Russian would chart. But the Daily Mail stuck the boot in and wrote an article, Let Me Disappoint You, disaster for Robbie Williams, as new single Party Like a Russian limps into midweek chart at 53.
Typical Daily Mail, isn't
Don't
it?
like the Daily Mail.
Guy thought up the title in 2014. He told Steve Wright's Big Guest podcast that it's a good example of a concept song where the whole song is based around an idea. He had already worked up a sample from Prokofiev's Romeo and Juliet as a possible backing track and suggested the title to Rob, telling him it could be a good party song, like Rock DJ. Rob didn't say anything when Guy first played it, but eventually sung a certain kind of man who's got a certain da-da-da with the melody, rhythm and some of the words that ended up on the final song. And there was soon a complete song.
Guy's idea was to describe how Russians are, but also that there's something great about the fact they know how to party. During the 2 days the song was written, no deeper thoughts were discussed about it. Chris Heath said, "It's a pop song about Russian stuff, and putting it together was making everyone laugh and making them feel fulfilled because they're creating something unusual and catchy that didn't exist a few hours before, however good or otherwise it would turn out to be. Nobody's thinking about what will happen when it's out in the world, or if one day it becomes a single, or were to become the subject of multiple newspaper pieces. I think it happens this way far more than people realise. Party Like a Russian was just written in a fever of fun, silliness and excitement. Working out what it might mean, that came later. Not to say some thought didn't go into it afterwards. A couplet, like a modern Rasputin, he goes shooting with Putin, was removed. They just found it funny that the words rhymed, and Chris was sure they all just meant weekend grouse type of shooting. Rob felt uncomfortable mentioning Putin, so changed it to, ain't no refuting or disputing, I'm a modern Rasputin.
So Rob came up with an explanation for it. It's a song about partying and hedonism, and that because no one parties like Russians party, that is why it's called Party Like a Russian. The person who sings it is partly me and partly a character, but all my songs are.
In his first press interview for the album with Dan Wootton from The Sun, he said, "There's a lot of lyrics I took out because there's 147 million people in Russia and I don't want to upset them in any way. I don't know what kind of sense of humour they've got. I'm not making fun of anybody, but I kind of had to take a few things out just to make it more PC. This is the PC version." Asked if he will be on Putin's hit list, Rob replied, "I doubt that very much. I hope not. I think the spirit of the record is saying party like a Russian." The Sun's headline for the interview was Rob's Putin the Bootin. There's the Sun. Song mocks Russian chief, which caused a global media storm. Rob genuinely worried about being put on Putin's hit list and couldn't sleep, thinking Russians were going to kill him. A political journalist told Guy there was a sense the Russian government were behind the backlash, which fed Rob's paranoia. Rob told Chris, "I don't want to be the international symbol of freedom of speech when I'm killed." Oh dear.
Rob fell into saying he was pleased with the controversy as it provided promotion for his new single and that he'd done it on purpose. He even said it had been welcomed in Russia. He explained, "I'm in character and it's a fantasy and it's a theatrical piece where the guy that's in character wants to be like a mythical oligarch. It's Robert Williams of Burslem, Stoke-on-Trent, deciding to be Russian for the evening at a party. No satirical or political dimension, just a camp, funny song in character."
Enemy said, "It's not even a great song. The chorus is a bit lumpen, but it's weird and mad and makes the world a little more colourful. It's like something from a past era and a pop song from another dimension all at the same time. And crucially, it's interesting. And that's something we haven't been able to say about Robbie Williams for a long time." Rob took their positive review as a bad omen, saying, "Whenever they give me a good review, something bad happens. Genuinely, I'm not making it up for drama or something."
Stupid Enemy, as usual.
Yeah.
Also, I meant to say earlier
It's a bit
that
of a strange review, wasn't it?
But it was, yeah. When they said about Love My Life being forgettable, well, that's, yeah, I mean, they're just totally stupid because that has been the most remembered song from the album in the end, hasn't it?
Yeah, unfortunately, quite a few of the Enemy writers at the time seem to get this wrong.
Yeah.
We've spread a few more out, haven't we? And they're just blatantly, the albums were so successful, the songs were so successful, but they didn't seem to see it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Matt, what do you think of Party Like a Russian?
Well, goodness, how spot on is this song? I mean, I don't want to bring the tone or the mood down of the podcast too much because obviously, there's lots of things going on with Russia, and wars and stuff at the moment. But apparently I heard that Russia are actually pulling out of the International Space Station, which is obviously mentioned. He talks about, buying a space station with your loose change.
Yeah.
Well, they are. They're going to build their own. So, I think Rob obviously foresaw that. But anyway, politics and war aside, I love the strings on this one and the kind of booming, boom, boom sound.
Yeah.
just genius lyrics. And I actually didn't know, I'm honest about this, I didn't know that spasibo means thank you. Because he shouts out, spasibo, doesn't he, in part of the song. And I didn't know until we researched this, that's what that meant. Love the fact that Russian dolls are in it. I was always fascinated with those. My nan used to have a set of those and we used to go and play with them. And I was like, this is really cool how these all fit together. And then there's just mental lyrics in it. I put a bank inside a car, inside a plane, inside a boat. It takes half the Western world just to keep my ship afloat. And I never ever smile unless there's something to promote. I won't emote. Just brilliant. And then after have it like an oligarch, it says, raz, dva, trai, chetra. I probably said that completely wrong. And again, I didn't know what that was before. Did you?
No.
Count. It's in numbers.
It is. It's 1, 2, 3, 4. Which is obvious when you sort of in hindsight because they're sort of marching. But I didn't know what that was. So I wonder who sang the male Russian vocals. I don't know.
Oh, I looked that up actually.
Did you look that up?
Yeah, it was a man who was born in Lithuania or somewhere like that, and they ended up living in Russia for a bit, but then they moved to Paris or something when they was about 11, and then they moved to America. I don't know, but anyway, he said he'd ended up living in all these different countries growing up, so he could speak all these languages fluently. So now this bloke is an actor and he does Russian and English stuff. Yeah.
Oh yeah, and then I had the line here, the one about the space station. I should have said it earlier on, but it takes a certain kind of a man with a certain reputation to alleviate the cash from a whole entire nation. Take my loose change and build my own space station. Just because you can, man. Yeah.
Karen, do you like this song?
I love it.
Yeah.
I absolutely love it. It's like I said, it makes no sense, really.
Yeah.
It's just fun.
It is.
And that's what I love about it.
Yeah.
So it's just a fun, but it's a big statement at the same time, isn't it? You've got all that noise and everything going, it's fab.
Yeah,
It's fab. I love it.
They must have had a
Absolutely love
feeling, Karen, and I'm sure they knew. They must have known it would create a bit of a storm.
Yes. Yeah, they must have. Yeah.
Especially,
Definitely.
the Sun aren't going to play nicely with something like that, are they?
No. No. And they just like winding him up anyway, don't they?
Yeah, that's true.
It's brilliant.
It is.
Absolutely brilliant.
It's another genius song by Robbie and Guy. And Guy's incredible for, just making it feel Russian instantly, doesn't it? With that music and the whole sound of it.
Yeah.
He's so talented.
Yeah.
Also, I love how they have rhymed so many words together, refuting, disputing, Rasputin, Labutin, highfalutin, bootin. It's just brilliant, isn't it?
Well, the word Putin actually is in there, but it's disguised, isn't it? Rather than being
Rasputin,
explicit.
yeah.
Yes.
Like this song always reminds me of the tour because every time they played it, at a certain point there'd be confetti cannons would go off, and every single time I would totally shit myself when they went off.
Yeah.
It was always such a big bang, and even though I sort of knew it was coming, it would still give me a fright every time.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just brilliant. I love this song, but I think it's a shame. I don't think we'll hear it live again.
No.
Oh.
Don't you think?
I don't.
Yeah.
I would not have thought so.
No.
And also, obviously, just to we're having a bit of fun with this, and we're talking about of the
because
time
of the situation. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, just to acknowledge that, because obviously we're having a little bit of fun with this, and actually at the time it was written at the time, and it's and that's how music captures moments in time, doesn't it? And I don't. If anybody's listening to this, we're not in any way trying to make light of what's currently happening with the Ukraine, and we wish that situation wasn't going on, and hopefully that comes to an end at some point in our lifetimes. Seems to be going on for a long time, but I think some of what Robbie put in this song was a little bit prophetic, to be honest.
Yeah.
But unfortunately.
But moving on to the video. It was directed by Vaughan Arnell at Hatfield House, which is where our friend Star got married and Matt was best man.
Yeah, actually in the Hatfield House location where they used quite a lot of the rooms in there, didn't they? Different rooms.
Vaughan said, when I first heard Party Like a Russian, it was just the most amazing layers of sounds, like nothing I'd ever heard before in my life. The inspiration came from this lonely oligarch living by himself in a big stately home somewhere in the country. It's almost like Russians living the English lifestyle. Hatfield House gave that scale. So you've got Robbie in this really old grandeur, and then you've got the Gucci suit on, so it's a really nice contrast between old and new. We wanted it to become a real dance performance piece, slightly tongue-in-cheek. They were kind of his muses. The girls know what they're doing. Rob just walks on set and bounces off the girls and improvises. It's really exciting.
He improvises.
Yeah.
Bloody hell.
It's amazing,
He improvises
isn't it?
well then, considering the routines they were doing, and he was sort of matching in with
Yeah,
it.
I know. Well, I guess that they show him what they're going to do, and he just fits
does
in
it.
with them. Yeah. It's incredible. But have you ever, like when you watch the vloggies and you sometimes see him backstage with Dinosh and the girls, and they just show him like a couple of moves and he just picks it up straight away.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Did you enjoy the video, Karen?
If you can
The
remember
video's ace.
It is.
The video's great.
It
It is good. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, brilliant.
He looks great in it.
He is, yes. Very, very hot.
Yes.
And he puts on the butterfly suit as
Yeah.
well.
Oh, yeah.
At some point during that one, yeah.
Yeah.
Which is nice to see because we like that.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah.
The dancers in it reminded me for some reason of Robert Palmer's Addicted to Love video.
Yes, definitely.
Similar.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well,
I can't
no,
remember
But
that video.
it's just the way they're sort of stood behind looking all kind of serious.
Oh, I see.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
definitely. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, but weirdly, I couldn't remember what song it was, but I could picture it in my head.
Addicted to Love.
Yes.
So how did you find it in
Well,
the end?
Yeah.
literally, I put into Google.
Serious dancers standing behind Robert
yeah,
Palmer.
no, I didn't even know his name. I put in something like dancers behind singer in video or
No.
something like that, and literally it was the third result.
Oh,
Isn't
Because
it
they
clever?
were all very similar looking
Yeah.
as well, weren't they?
Which is like,
and I can
yeah.
remember thinking what you've just said
Yeah.
at that time,
Ah.
you know, with the
Ooh.
Robbie video.
I wonder if it
So,
was an
yeah.
influence.
I bet it was.
You know, when
Yeah.
we'll have to
And I-
get Vaughan Arnell to speak to us about it one day.
Well, that would be amazing.
Yeah. Yeah. Because I was going to, well, I started putting it together. Do you know, like when some people put these like collages together and put them on Facebook,
Yeah.
but I never finished it. But
Oh,
yeah, I was going to put it out there, but I didn't bother.
Maybe
Yeah.
we'll have to do it when we do this episode.
Yeah.
When we
Yeah.
release it.
we'll do one for you and credit it to you, Karen.
Thank you. I start things, I never finish it.
Also, did you notice Guy was in the video? In
Oh,
one of the
that
shots?
was my little factoid.
Oh, sorry.
No, yes, I did. Did you see Guy in it, Karen?
Just
I
one.
probably have.
He was
but I
only in
just
it for like a split second.
Yeah.
Like he was doing up one of the girls' dresses
Yeah,
in one of
something
the
like
rooms,
that.
or
Oh.
he was helping them with something. He
Yeah.
he was the only other man apart
Yeah.
from Robbie that appeared in the video, I
Yeah,
think,
yeah, I
unless
think
there was
so.
another one in the garden. But
Yeah.
yeah, he just had a little cameo in it.
Yeah. Yeah, it was
Oh.
nice.
I thought it was a great location for the video. I mean,
Yeah.
obviously,
fab. Yeah.
my mate Star, Alistair, and Esther's wedding there was incredible,
Yeah.
and so it was kind of like weird to think that we were there
Yeah.
for that. But it's just beautiful. The gardens are incredible, and I noticed there was a lot of more gold paint used in this one. Obviously, gold is
Yeah.
associated with
Russians.
riches and that sort of things, and Russians.
Yeah.
But this time it was on one of the dancers' tongues, I noticed. So
Oh,
I think his opening dance move's great. I mean, I can't believe he improvised that, but that's amazing. Only he could get away with wearing a white suit with a black floral pattern on it, right? Anyone else walking down the street would look like a right idiot if I tried wearing that, right? Okay, he says wearing a floral shirt on the podcast. Especially being followed by dancing maids with black feather dusters. Yeah.
yeah. It's brilliant. It's
In
great.
fact, as you said earlier on, you both mentioned different outfits. He wears loads of different outfits in
Yeah,
this
there's
video. Lots
disco
of different
Robbie, isn't there?
suits. So yeah, he's almost playing slightly different characters in each one.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I love it when you see Guy. And then when Rob's on that really long table as well, that made me laugh. Similar to the kind of Russian tables that we see certain Russian leaders using. One person sat at one end, one at the other.
Yeah.
And then the funniest bit of the video for me, I love the whole thing, but the funniest bit is when all the ladies in their white dresses run out into the garden, run through the gardens, and then suddenly they go and get their Mr. Whippy ice creams. They run through the gardens and they decide to smash their ice creams over each other's heads. It's just mental. I just thought that was funny.
Yeah, it is.
As you do,
Yeah.
Yeah, as you do.
Oh, I bet they had a laugh making that.
Yeah.
I bet they did, yeah.
It's great. I love it. Good old
That had
Vaughan.
to be done in one take.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The ice cream bit.
definitely.
Hi, I'm Robbie Williams, and you're listening to Robbie Williams Rewind with the Champions.
Let's move on to Mixed Signals.
Yes. So released
Right.
as the third single on the 28th of February 2017, written by Ronnie Vanucci Jr., Mark Sturmer, David Kooning and Brandon Flowers, i.e. The Killers, and produced by Stuart Price. It got to number 59 in Scotland. Why have we not got any other?
Because that's the only place it charted, apparently.
Oh dear.
Good old Scotland.
So
well,
it got
well
to
done, Scotland.
well done, Scotland. You got it to 59. Well done, Angela, and all of our other friends up there.
Yeah.
Shouldn't just single out one person because then the others all hate me, but Kelly. Originally intended to be performed by the Killers, Robbie first heard the track in producer Stuart Price's studio and thought he'd quite like it for himself.
Rob said, "Unbelievably, the Killers let me have it and didn't have it for themselves. The Killers' sound is unique, and I think Brandon Flowers is one of the best songwriters on the planet. I did talk to Brandon about what the song was about, and I asked him how he goes about writing, and he said, 50% of songs are about me and my experiences, and 50% aren't, and they're just made up. This is one of those made-up songs. What did I do to make it mine? I'm doing an impression of an American. Brandon's actually American. It wasn't easy to inhabit because Brandon's got a very high range and the song sounds better when it's sung high, and I don't know how I'm going to reproduce it live because it's a little bit too high for me. But I tried it in a different key and it just didn't sound as good, and I wanted it to sound like Brandon." Rob did perform it at the Brits Icon show at the Troxy as well as at the actual Brit Awards in 2017.
Digital Spy called Mixed Signals a standout. Robbie has always had that frontman energy in his delivery, so the lovelorn lyric, pumping chorus and growling vocal will go down a storm at his live show.
Which, unfortunately, he didn't really include it, though.
No. So, what do we think about Mixed Signals? Who wants to go first?
Karen?
Karen.
I like it. It is a proper chart topper, I suppose.
Yeah.
If that's, yeah. Catchy number.
Yeah.
Remember at the Troxy, everybody went mental.
Yeah.
And I think he was quite surprised by that. But, you know, you would have thought that he would have taken the hint and sort of done it then on tour.
Yeah.
But it didn't happen, did it?
No.
It didn't happen. But, yeah, it's good. I remember playing, well, my friend was helping me once with a cake. And the song came on in the background. And she was like, "This song sounds like that fella." Oh, she said, "What's his name? What's his name?" And she said, "Brandon." And she actually thought, so she recognised the style.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So that was pretty good. Yeah.
Interesting.
I was like, "Well done, Julie." Yeah. Yeah. Because I wouldn't have recognised it. I got to be fair.
Yeah.
But had he not said.
Our son, Luke, he always said at the time that this was his favourite song on the album.
Yeah.
And I pointed it out to him today when it was playing in the car. I said, "Oh, Luke, do you remember you used to say this was your favourite song on the album?" He said, "Yeah, I do." I said, "Yeah, and you know it's not written by Robbie." And he just laughed.
Bless him.
Yeah.
Well, I'm a big Killers fan, so I definitely,
Oh, right,
definitely,
okay.
I think I don't know. I think at the time I did feel as though it was more Killers, Brandon Flowers, but I think I probably knew actually before it even came out.
Oh, yeah,
but,
yeah.
yeah. And I think his vocal on this one is just excellent, like really, really good. I love it. I think, you know, and because I like Brandon Flowers and the Killers, I like that whole vibe. So I think I was instantly hooked on it. And, you know, I know Rob had to sing it, like we said, in a slightly higher key than he wanted to. But I actually think, I've said this a few times, I really do think he can do it.
Yeah.
I think it's just confidence. Because we've heard him sing high notes, you know, in the past few years, whenever we heard him. But anyway, I think he could do it. So I'd love to hear it live again.
Yeah.
I love the bridge. And in the dusk we fall apart. The sun's got his elbow in the rib cage of town. I'm breaking down.
I never really know what that means.
I don't think. Well, yeah, don't know. The sun's got his elbow in the rib. I don't know.
It just sounds good, though.
And then it goes, and then I love the bit 3 a.m.
Yeah.
However that goes.
At 3 a.m.
It just goes on.
You know, he says a maiden true.
A maiden true.
You know, it actually says in the lyric booklet, a maiden true, just to say it clearly for people.
Yes.
And I can remember Sarah, as in Alan and Sarah from our Take the Crown episodes, she said that her and Alan had a discussion about what he was saying there. I think Alan said it was it something like a maid untrue, whereas Sarah was saying, no, it's a maiden true. And they had this discussion about it. Anyway, Sarah asked Rob on chat to confirm, and he did confirm that it is a maiden true. So a true woman, essentially.
Ah.
Yeah. So anyway, thought I'd confirm that for everyone. But yeah, it's such a shame that he's hardly sung it live because it's such a good song.
It's a proper get up and groove tune, isn't it? You know, you could have a good dance and chant.
It would be good if he sung it at another Under the Radar concert or something, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
If we ever get one of those again.
Yes, in a slightly safer place where you can just go for it and try it out and
not worry.
We'd all love it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Should we talk about the video?
Yeah.
I was going to say three videos.
Yes.
Were there three?
Yes, sort of.
Yeah.
Three different endings.
There were. Yeah, I saw I found two when I was like researching or trying to jog my memory, but I couldn't find the third.
It took me a long time to find it as well, actually, because on the anniversary of this song coming out, I put a social media post out and I put the three endings of the videos together into one video and just asked people what was their favourite ending. And it did take me a long time to find one of the endings. I can't remember which one it is now.
Yeah, it's not easily apparent.
I think it's the Ida one.
I didn't go and find your video that you'd made.
The Ida one.
Yeah, the Ida one. Yeah.
I'd forgotten you made that video.
The Ida one.
So I searched like Karen did, and I was like, God, this is difficult. Why aren't they just linked? Because normally YouTube just links and says, oh, you know, if you're watching this one, you can watch this one. But they're not at all.
Yeah.
There's no links, nothing. So
nothing on his official page except the normal ending with Robbie at the end, isn't it? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So,
and that's the one that kept coming up. But there was a Gary Barlow one, and it was like, you know, quite up there, Gary Barlow ending or whatever.
Yeah.
But which is funny. I found that like highly amusing.
It is.
But I couldn't find the Ida, and I thought it was Ida. I was like, it was Ida. I'm sure it was, but I can't remember how it finished.
It was.
Yeah.
So we'll have to put the links on our episode webpage for all three so that everyone else doesn't struggle to find them.
Yeah.
So the video was actually directed by Ross Anderson from Nice and Polite, and it was his directing debut, as he seems to be more of an advertising creative. The video was shot mainly from the perspective of the girlfriend who goes out with her friends and steals a guy's wallet at a bar, while Robbie is shown singing and staring at his phone in distress. And as we've talked about, there are three separate endings. The main one showing the girlfriend going home to Rob, who then finds a picture of another guy in the girl's wallet. The second shows the girl going home to Gary Barlow, as you said, Karen. And the third shows the girlfriend going home to Ida. The girlfriend was played by top London model Kirsty Rose Heselwood.
It's a great video, isn't it?
It is. It's different.
It's fun to watch.
Yeah.
It tells a story.
I feel sorry. I feel sorry for him at the end.
Oh yes, I do.
Oh,
Bless him.
poor Robbie.
Heartbroken he was.
Yeah.
Heartbroken.
He actually does a bit of acting in it, doesn't he?
Well, yeah.
He does, yeah. He does in all his videos.
Yeah.
He is a good actor.
True.
I mean, I remember obviously. Was it a hotel room or was it just an apartment room?
I think he was in his apartment.
Yeah, it looked a little bit like a hotel.
But it was, it was an apartment that you could hire or
right.
something.
I just remember there being lots of point of view shots, from the first person, and there's also one of underwear being put on. So you remember that.
Yeah.
And then the girls are out in town. They naughtily steal that man's wallet.
Yeah.
They meet in the bar. I mean, goodness, why would he want to go out with a thief? Eh? Eh? I don't feel sorry for him anymore.
No.
Although I know that bit did happen. The 3 endings are just 3 different endings. So
yeah.
So what won on the poll?
Oh, the one that won on the poll was Gary, I think.
Oh, right.
But it was very close between the Gary and Robbie endings. But I think Gary just pipped it to the post, and Ida's one didn't. It got a couple of votes.
All the Gary fans.
So what happened? I don't get the Ida one. What happened
She
there?
just went at home to Ida, and then they sort of went as if they were going to kiss, and then it was the end of the video.
Oh. But it wasn't her in the car. So I don't understand how she fitted into that.
No.
Do you see what I mean?
I see what you mean, yeah.
Yeah.
I can't remember that one.
That's why I wasn't sure. Yeah. I only saw it once, and that was a long time ago.
Oh.
So,
But it was definitely a good way to get promo for the song. I remember it being on lots of sort of TV, sort of like Lorraine and In the Sun and things like that.
Yeah. It's a stroke of genius, really. I mean, I'm sure it costs a fortune to do multiple endings like that, but it got the press, it got people interested in it, didn't it?
Well, did it cost a fortune just asking his wife and his mate?
Well, maybe not.
I bet he didn't have to pay them.
It took slightly longer.
Yeah,
Okay, maybe it didn't cost a fortune.
Not like he had to pay an actor to do
It wasn't a high production video, was
No.
it? But it was a good video.
And wasn't there like a week in between each ending?
Yeah, I think there might have been.
They did. Yeah, they strung it out a bit,
Yeah.
didn't they?
Ah.
Yeah.
It was worth it.
So, yeah.
Right, let's move on to Love My Life.
Yeah.
The second single, released on the 21st of October 2016, Love My Life was written by Rob, Gary Go and Johnny McDade, and produced by Johnny McDade, Gary Go and Johnny Coffer. Johnny McDade is a Northern Irish singer-songwriter from Snow Patrol, who's also a close friend and co-writer of Ed Sheeran's. He also co-wrote Speaking Tongues. He's been going out with Courtney Cox for years. And Gary Go is a multi-platinum British songwriter, producer and composer who's written and produced songs with Rihanna, Take That, Kylie and Ronan.
Love My Life peaked at number 22 in the UK, making it the biggest hit from the album, and is currently Rob's last single to chart in the UK. It reached number 1 in Slovakia and Slovenia, number 3 in Scotland, 4 in Germany, 6 in Poland, 7 in Iceland, 8 in Switzerland and 9 in Austria. Is there a coincidence that it goes 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9?
Yeah, it's quite cool, isn't it?
Did you do it like that?
I did it like that on purpose, yeah.
Okay, love it. Got OCD as well. It went platinum in Italy despite only hitting number 54. It was certified silver in the UK, which equals 200,000 sales, and gold in Germany and Switzerland.
In Reveal, Chris Heath detailed the song's creation. Rob and Johnny both separately came across a Marianne Williamson quote. Our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us. Johnny played some chords and Rob immediately sung the chorus. Rob said at the time, an empowerment song to myself, because that's not how I felt. I'm a depressive that's struggled with happiness, and I've overcome that now to be in the position where I can sing I love my life, and I know intuitively that there's many people out there that feel the same way.
Rob knew there was something powerful about the song, but he also knew he couldn't sing those words as Robbie Williams about himself in public. He said, "You can't do that because it seems egoic."
In the track by track, Rob said, Johnny and I had written a lot together, and we knew we had this gem of a song tucked away that we were a bit too scared and apprehensive to tackle, just in case we didn't fulfill its potential. We just kept looking at it because we were both a bit scared, because the chorus sounded so big. He said, "Is it all right if my mate Gary Go comes in, does a bit of writing?" I said, "Yes, of course." He came in and got a melody for the verse. I was so relieved, A, that it was fantastic and magical, but B, that I didn't screw it up and it gets a chance to exist. So I'll be forever grateful to Gary Go for bringing his expertise in for this track. A message to you, to Ida, to the kids, to myself. Self-empowerment. Give yourself some love. Believe in yourself. If you can't be confident, be brave. It was the last song to be written. 70 plus songs written for this album, and if someone put a gun to my head and said which is the biggest single, I'd say this one. But we shall see what fate has for it, but I reckon it has the best chance of doing really well, especially from this album.
The last time Rob had a song he struggled to finish because he knew it could be big was Rock DJ. Rob worked out a way that he could sing the lyrics of Empowerment, a song addressed to his children, expressing his hopes that they would be the words of his children would sing to him if he raised them in the way that he planned. Johnny and Gary still wondered if the chorus could be misinterpreted. Rob replied, "That is what I want my kids to say. This is the gift I want them to have. I want them to say it fearlessly, and I'm going to say it fearlessly." A few days later, he played the final version to Chris Heath and remarked, "A hit's turned up. It's odd that it's turned up as the last song."
Isn't that weird? Because it really was the biggest hit from the album, and he knew it.
Yeah.
Funny. And just on the fact that he said that people might still take it the wrong way.
Yeah.
Well, the others said that. One of our friends did take it the wrong way and did say to me, "Oh, Lucy, I can't bear that song. I can't bear him saying I love my life." And I said, I tried to explain it to her that no, it's not written in that way. "Oh, well, it just sounds like that. I hate it." I was just like, okay, I'm obviously not going to get through to you, so I'm not going to continue this conversation.
So it was a bold move to do it. It really was.
But I love it.
Yeah. I like it, but I think it was overplayed.
Ah.
Do you know, like a bit like Angels?
Yeah.
I like Angels live, but like when you're on the radio, it's like, oh my God, you know, they could have played something else.
Yeah.
we do love it, but you know what I mean.
Do.
And I think most Robbie fans are like that with the Angels.
Yeah.
But I find that this is one of those for me.
Yes.
You know, I do like it, and I do love what he's done, you know, and it is a nice song for his children and whatever. But it reminds me as well of the little magic show that we went to. Again, that's all we won.
Oh.
And I was the plus one.
Yeah.
And he did I think it was about 5 songs off this album, like a promo thing.
Yeah.
And that was the first time he'd ever done it in front of people.
Oh.
So, and it was lovely to hear for the first time, you know?
Yes.
But like I said, by the time the concert had come around, it was like, oh, here we go.
Yeah.
One of those. But I do like it.
That magic thing, was that the one where he was just in like a studio and there was about 10 people watching?
Yeah.
Oh my God, I didn't realise you went to that. That's incredible.
Yeah.
There was like 10 people in the room with him.
I know. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Talk about intimate.
Yeah.
But it was tiny. It was the tiniest room, honestly. It was small, really small.
Wow.
Oh, you must have
It was
loved that.
fab. It was fab.
Amazing.
Again, so we won.
Yeah.
I was on the other end, on the phone waiting, you know, and so we got the ticket.
Yeah.
And was he kind of chatting to you between songs, or was it live, or how was it?
Yeah, he was. There was about 10 of us, I think, altogether. Maybe more. It only seemed like about 10.
Yeah.
And we weren't allowed any phones or anything, the usual stuff.
Yeah.
We were taken up to this tiny little room. There was Guy on the keyboard. There was Jerry on guitar. And there was Robbie.
Yeah. And there was Paul Beard. He was the guy that he was on the sort of drums. Like, it wasn't almost a full drum set. I think he was on sort of a different kind of little acoustic type thing. Yeah.
He was on percussion.
Yeah.
Cool.
Percussion, yeah.
What a lovely memory that is.
Yeah, it was good.
So-
He thought I was a midget.
Oh.
Well, I think you're the same height as me, so.
Yeah, he thought I was. What basically, I was like sort of in the way of this fella that was like filming, and he told me to get out of the way and sit on the floor. So I sort of got down on the floor, and I was like right in front of him, you know, and like I was on my knees. So, yeah, so he was like, "Are you a midget?" I was like, no. See, this is what I mean. Every time I see him, I'm like, oh, really? For goodness sake. Yeah. So great day again. Yeah.
And Lucy, what do you think about Love My Life?
I just love it. I love hearing it live. It does always feel like a song of empowerment. I do feel that, especially at gigs. And I remember at New Year's Eve, we all had banners, didn't we? Us and Alan and Sarah and a few others, even though we got separated from them, so it didn't work as well. But we all had one saying, "I am free," or "I am powerful," or "I am beautiful," or whatever. And I ended up having the "I am beautiful" one. And of course, they put the cameras on us because the cameras ended up on us a lot.
Yeah, it did.
Which we'll come to. And I was holding up this banner, but because Matt was stood behind me on TV, apparently it made it look as though it was Matt holding up "I am beautiful."
No one's going to disagree with that. I'd forgotten that memory.
Yeah.
I missed that show.
Yeah. Oh.
I was gutted. I know.
Well, the overriding memory for me on this one is Chloe and myself, Chloe, our daughter, singing this for Lucy's 40th party and your mum's 70th party. Chloe and I got the lyrics from a karaoke version of the track, and we rehearsed it quite a bit. How old would have Chloe have been then? Back then?
6.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So 6.
Oh, bless.
And she was well up for it. And so we stood in front of a marquee full of people and sang it to you and your mum. And it was it was a nice moment. I'm not sure how the singing was, but it was a good moment. And yeah, I agree with you, Lucy. It frustrated me because I had a few people say it to me as well, like people at work and stuff. Oh, you know, he's writing a song about love in his life. Oh, yeah, I bet he loves his, like, you know, it's like, oh, shut up. Yeah. It's not about that. Yeah. So, yeah, that got a bit draining, actually, after a while, that comment. But I just, there's a beautiful piano opening and really powerful lyrics. And I love the bridge. This always sticks with me. And I say it sometimes, not the whole line, but find the others with hearts like yours. That's one thing I do say quite a lot. You know, people like, I don't know, that just sticks with me because I think it's a good motto for life, actually. You know, life's too short to have people that drain the energy out of you, you know. So find others with hearts like yours. Just amazing lyric for me. Run far, run free, I'm with you. Yes. And I love the very last line. And finally, I'm where I want to be.
Yeah, I like that.
Which is the best place to be, where you want to be.
That's always a good moment in the concert, isn't it? Especially in Stoke. It's like, and finally, I'm where I want to be. I'm at a Robbie's.
It's very meaningful, isn't it?
Yeah.
That lyric.
After COVID.
Meaningful. Yeah.
We were back where we wanted to be.
Yes.
Yeah.
We all were.
Yeah.
It was cold.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Oh, Karen, when they brought you out, the security got you what are they called? Emergency blanket.
It was an emergency blanket.
One of the silver foil blankets, yeah.
Because security were worried about how cold you were.
They brought me out a medi blanket, a proper fleecy one.
Oh, right.
In the end.
Yes.
because I was absolutely free. I've never been so cold in all my life.
Yeah.
I thought it was like 9 below. Honestly, it was awful.
It was.
It was awful.
We were,
But apart from that, it was great.
Yes.
yes. And you were where you wanted to be,
Yeah.
just 9 below.
Exactly. He must have thought when he looked down, what the hell has that girl got on? Because I had like a blanket, but silver thing, my cape.
And you still weren't warm.
I was freezing. It spoilt it a bit.
Yeah.
But there we
Oh,
go.
it was hard work at the beginning.
It was,
It
yeah.
made me feel quite ill, actually. I think a lot of other people said on the front row, I think because we'd been baked for 3 days beforehand.
Yes.
And a lot
I
of
think
us had
that's what it
caught the
was as
sun
well.
and all that. We
Yeah.
went in there and the temperature just dropped so suddenly. We
Dropped.
were not ready for
Yeah.
it. And it was...
You know,
oh,
what was that about? Wasn't it? And for days later, I like peeling skin where we'd had windburn.
Yeah.
Yes.
It'd been
Yes.
quite sweet. Oh my God. Anyway, another day, another story,
Yeah.
that is. Yeah.
Yeah, when you look at the lyrics to this song, there's actually barely any lyrics in it if you look at the sort of, them all laid out. But it's just such an empowering song. I love it. And I started to question the angels, and the answer they gave was you. I like that. Yeah. The one thing that gets me is there's sort of funny noises in the song. I don't know exactly what they are. They're kind of synth or some kind, like 2 notes after each line in the Find the Hearts Like Yours bit after I Am Powerful, etc.
I'll have to listen to that again.
And when it was on tour and those bits came on, it was always a bit weird. I was always like, oh, this sounds odd. That's just in my head, obviously. No one else noticed it.
Well, we will now.
So the video, it came out on the 13th of November, 3 weeks after the single's release. It's directed once more by Vaughan Arnell and was filmed at the Isle of Sheppey on the North Kent coast. And the song was played at high speed so that Rob's movements looked kind of hesitant and dreamy. During filming, a member of the public who'd spotted Rob drove along parallel to where Rob was, videoing him as they drove. They crashed into a road sign and got stuck there, so Rob filmed their efforts to get free.
That was nice of him.
Oh, how embarrassing for that person.
Do you reckon they were looking at the video and then crashed into the road sign?
Yeah, that is what happened, because they were looking at him.
They were rubbernecking. Oh,
and
brilliant.
then they crashed.
Oh dear. Hopefully they were all right.
Yeah.
Sounds as though they were. He wouldn't have filmed it if they were seriously injured, would he?
Oh, God, no.
No.
Do you remember this video, Karen?
Yes, I do. Yeah. It was, he looked hot.
Yeah.
Yeah. Even though it was a cold day by the look of
Yeah.
it. Yeah. But there was nothing to it, really.
No.
It was just him walking around singing and people like filming him.
Yeah, it's kind of odd, isn't it?
It was a bit odd, yeah. Wasn't there a send-up video made? Somebody did one.
Oh, yeah, I think you're right.
What, one of the fans?
Yeah.
No,
Oh.
like
Well,
a comedian.
I don't
or
think it was a
something.
fan. Yeah, some sort of comedian.
Ah.
It was something like I love my wife or something like
Yeah, I
that.
think you're right. I've forgotten about that.
Yeah, there definitely was, but I can't find it on YouTube or
Right.
anything. It's disappeared.
Oh, I'm
Yeah, there
intrigued
was.
now. We'll have to look into that.
Yeah,
Yeah, that was quite funny.
yeah, I remember that now.
Yeah.
It kind of reminds me of Angels, just in the fact that he's on the beach,
Yes.
Long coat.
long
Yeah.
coat.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's about it.
Apart from
No, I know what you mean.
apart
'cause
from
aren't bits of it in black and white as well?
No, not
No.
Love
no,
My Life.
it's just I think they were all like in drab
Oh
colours.
yeah, that's
all.
it.
It was
They,
just
Yeah.
they were.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were. Yeah.
yeah.
But it's actually
Yeah.
his 7th most watched video on YouTube with 62 million
No.
views. So
Good
I think
God.
that's because people are playing the song. It's not necessarily the video that they're watching. It's just the popularity of the song, I think, that has brought that up so high.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
Maybe YouTube just always keeps recommending it to people when they're watching Robbie as well.
Yeah, because it's got 62 million views. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a simple concept for a video, isn't it? I mean, just wandering down a lane with this film crew of beautiful women, as you do, again, onto the beach, There's something about filming on a beach as well, in particular, even though it's a simple video, that makes it very dramatic and moody, like Angels.
Yeah.
There's something about the beach, the way it's shot, there's some moodiness about it. And although it's a happy song, and what I was wondering was, were all of their cameras, there was about 10 of them, all recording as well? It kind of seemed as though they were.
I think they were.
But it certainly gives that effect. So
Yeah.
I hope they were. Also he's wearing that nice full-length jacket.
Mm-hmm.
Once again, the kind of thing that only Robbie could carry off. If I put that on, I'd look like an idiot if I went for a walk along the beach in that jacket. So, he carries it off pretty well again. I know Rob likes his fashion, so, obviously it looks good.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Robbie Williams, and you're listening to Robbie Williams Rewind with the Champions.
Should we go on to Motherfucker?
Yeah.
Which one, Lucy?
Motherfucker.
Which one?
Motherfucker.
Okay, yeah, let's do that. Written by Rob, Tim and Flynn and produced by Guy and Richard, Rob wrote this in May 2013. Chris Heath revealed Rob was working on the lyrics in the car on the way to Derry in May 2013, when he sung Going Crazy with Dizzy Rascal for Radio 1's Big Weekend. Rob had the instrumental with a hypnotic repeated guitar motif on his laptop. Chris explained he'd heard the track before in July 2012 when Tim Metcalfe was in Rob's LA studio playing some instrumentals. Rob had sung a few words like, "Oh, satellite," over the track, but hadn't shown any sign he'd liked it. There's that satellite again, getting in there. A year later, he played it over and over as they drove to Bristol Airport. After about 8 minutes, Rob started singing, "I'm a bad motherfucker," and said, "There's something in that." By the time he was nearly home to Wiltshire, he had a verse and a chorus. The rest was written the next day.
Chris Heath described it as a song that, beneath its foul-mouthed exuberance, is ultimately about how one generation's flaws can beget the next generation's strengths. Although Robbie tells everyone it was written for Charlie, it was actually written before Charlie was even conceived. Rob added the middle 8, which makes it explicitly for Charlie much later. "We all believe you're going to break the chain. We all believe that you're the one. We all believe that the angels are watching over you, my son." At one point, Rob clarifies the uncle who sells drugs is an imaginary uncle on Ida's side.
In the track by track, Rob says, "In the 90s, I could have released Motherfucker, beeped out the fucker bit, and I think we'd been all right. It's a song that if I'd have had somebody write a song for me when I was 13, this is the song I'd have liked for me. Son, you're a motherfucker. Which son doesn't want to feel like that about themselves? Not all the lyrics in the song are true, but I'd say 95% of them are. This song is a dramatised and comedic version of our real life. Your mum and dad and all your family and this family and the family before this family and throughout years have struggled with being human like everybody does. But our isms, and whatever these isms are that make us human and make us unique, have made you. And to that tune, you're a bad motherfucker."
We're sweary Marys in our house anyway. We've got potty mouths. I'm guessing our household is going to be a bit like the Osbournes. So I think we'll be a bit liberal where swearing is concerned. I wouldn't want him repeating it before his 13th birthday. When he's a teenager, he can sing it with glee, because that's what I wrote it in mind with, for me as a teenager, and how much I loved swearing in records, and how rude it was, and how grown up it was. And I used to listen to them in my bedroom, and then repeat them underneath my breath so my mother couldn't hear.
Rob recorded it during the Swings Both Ways sessions on the day Ollie Murs was there. Ollie ended up singing an ooh ooh backing vocal, which featured on the finished record. It didn't sound like that, by the way.
No.
Ollie said, "I want fucking credit for that," but he isn't credited.
Isn't that bad?
But he is on it, right? Poor Ollie.
That's according to Chris Heath anyway. It's an amazing song to sing along to. I just love it. You just can't help singing it. And I always remember my mum telling me, who doesn't swear, that she had it as an earworm and she couldn't get it out of her head. And I even told Rob that on
She's
chat.
a Catholic girl who doesn't swear. Isn't
Yeah,
she?
I told Rob that on chat, and he just put lol, you know.
Yeah.
She had it blasting out in her car as she's driving to the church. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. She pulled up outside the door.
Yeah.
Oh, bless.
And also, I remember singing along to this on the HES tour when I took my mum in seats, and me and Kelly and her friend were there. Me and Kelly were like shouting and singing at the top of our lungs with my mum stood next to me, and there was this family behind us with these young kids.
Oh.
Me and Kelly did feel a bit bad, but we weren't going to let it spoil our fun. But my mum said, "Ooh, I did feel a bit funny about those children being there during that song."
Well,
Oh,
you go to see a Robbie show, you're going to get a Sweary Mary show, aren't
Yes.
you?
you're going to get a Sweary
Yes.
Mary show
Yeah.
there. Definitely. Definitely.
So do you two like this song?
You can go first, Karen. What do you tell us about Motherfucker?
I love it. It's great. He was only a baby when he wrote this song for Charlie. Charlie was only a baby, I mean. So, you know, age appropriate, no.
No.
But I get where he's coming from, like, you know, with what you've just said. So it is very Robbie,
Yeah.
isn't it?
Yeah, it is. He is the
It's
sweary pop
brilliant.
star.
Sweary Mary.
Well, only Robbie could write a song called Motherfucker, couldn't
And
he?
get away with it.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I think he was over-egging it slightly when he said 95% of the lyrics are true. I mean,
Yeah.
you know, I don't
Yeah.
think the family
Yeah.
are that bad.
No.
No.
Certainly some of the job roles in the song.
Yeah.
No. But I guess they work well in the lyrics.
Yeah. Your mother is a nutter. Yeah.
We won't go on to the next one.
Definitely.
No.
Yeah.
I like it that he played guitar to it on the Let Me Entertain You tour. You know, he just sat on the stage and sang it
Yeah,
with the guitar.
that's right. Yeah.
That's when we all first heard
Yeah.
it.
Mm.
Yeah.
And the contrast between the verses and the chorus, I like that as well.
It's a brilliant contrast, isn't it? You've got that melodic sort of ballad style singing and then the power and the energy that's in the chorus. It's, just lovely contrast.
Yeah. I'm just trying to think now. That was the one where, here we go again, with Zoe. Zoe won the rehearsal show, and that he did it then.
Yeah.
Because I only went to 2 shows on that one.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Well, 3. 3. Maybe 4. One was a rehearsal, and I think I went to Paris. I did 2 in Paris. Yeah. Yeah, but it was good. Yeah, great.
I know we said some of the lines, but I have to just read this bit out.
Go on.
Your uncle sells drugs. Your cousin is a
Yeah.
cutter. Your grandma is a fluffer. Your granddad's in the gutter. Your mother is a nutter. Your mother is a nutter. We are mad motherfuckers. Sure, you're a bad motherfucker. I mean, what a line. Oh, yeah.
Not age appropriate,
It's
Robbie.
just
Not
funny,
age
isn't it?
It's
I bet he
brilliant.
loves singing it, really.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It's great, isn't it?
I bet Charlie does too.
Yeah.
Imagine.
How old is he now?
When he's
Must be 8
he's gotta
or
be about-
something.
7, 8, yeah.
Yeah.
Gotta be.
Well, I must admit,
When was that?
I can't remember when he was born.
No, when was the song?
well, Chris actually said it was written a little bit before and then he added a piece.
What?
So he didn't exactly say when.
No. I
When it
can't
was,
remember how old
but,
Charlie is.
he was only a baby when he wrote it. When he released it, he was only a baby.
Yeah,
Charlie.
yeah, he was.
Yeah. Yeah. He's got to be about 7 or 8 now, yeah.
It's weird when he says about a sweary Mary house. I remember watching the Osbournes when that first came out. I think it was on MTV or something, and I just couldn't believe how much the kids swore at their parents and back and forth, all of them. And I was like, are there families like that? I'm not allowed to swear at home, and not even now. Well, I am sometimes, but I can't imagine that they're going to be quite as bad as the Osbournes.
No.
But I'm not sure. I don't think Ida likes lots of swearing.
She does.
She does swear, but yeah. I think Robbie swears a bit more.
I think she does.
Yeah.
I think Robbie's
I don't know.
more of a swearer.
I think they're as bad as one another.
Yeah, I do.
So the kids will be the same. Yes, they're right.
Yeah. I know my husband doesn't care. He's like, if I'm gonna swear, I'm gonna swear, and that's it. And I was like, I'm like, oh no.
Just a word.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just a word.
Right, let's move on to Bruce Lee.
Yeah. So Bruce Lee was written by Rob and Stuart Price and produced by Stuart. In the track by track, Rob says, Bruce Lee is called Bruce Lee because I think it was one of the first lyrics I got for that song. I'd just been watching a Bruce Lee clip on YouTube where he was saying, be like water. Water is shapeless. The water is in a cup and it is shaped like a cup. It's free flowing. It goes wherever it pleases. Be like water, my friends, I thought. Yeah, that's cool. Want to be like Bruce, be like water. The rest of the song is kind of like a Stonesy, Tina Turner-y ode to 60s and 70s rock falsetto in the verses, and also the latest Rolling Stones songs I love. All I feel is doom and gloom. I love that tune. I wanted it to be a bit like that.
So I like his scream at the start.
Yeah.
And I love his falsetto in this, and it does feel like a glam rock song. And it's enjoyable, but it's not my favourite song on the album, I have to say. But I wouldn't skip it. The way he repeats words is catchy. There's some good lines. Whole life a hurricane of pain and doubt. I'm going to rock you till you sing it again and again. I'm getting better, so much better. Bruce Lee told me to be like water flowing. I had no idea he actually said that until I looked at the lyrics. Did you?
No, none at all.
No.
It's kind of a song that kind of, I don't know why, but the lyrics almost wash over me, and I just sort of listen to the sound of it.
It's sort of like, la, 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 and you just like, yeah,
you just enjoy it, but you don't really listen to it.
You're not singing it because you can't really catch what he's singing. Yeah, it's just the melody. It's just the melody you've got. Yeah. I do like it though. It's catchy.
Yeah, it's
very catchy. Yeah. I wouldn't be able to tell you any lyrics from it though. I wouldn't have a clue.
No.
Apart from just bit at the beginning, which really annoys me for some reason.
Oh, that annoys you.
Even though that's from martial art movies. From it's Bruce Lee. It's the sound they make. Isn't it? But I don't know. It's sort of. I make myself.
You're not a Bruce.
I am. I did actually used to like watching martial arts films because my granddad was really into like watching martial arts, and he used to watch a lot of them. And I remember when I was a kid, he used to have them on, or he flicked through, and look, there's a Bruce Lee film. And I used to really respect the incredible, the way they did it because there was no CGI. They were properly fighting.
They did.
But not so much now. But. There's something about this song. I probably make myself really unpopular. It just sort of grates on me a bit. I'm not quite sure what it is. It's definitely not one of my favourites. It just doesn't work for me, this song.
It's quite high pitched as well, isn't it?
It is.
To sing along. It's quite hard. Yeah.
I don't have many skippers, but it's a skipper for me, unfortunately.
No, it's not a skipper.
No,
but
for me it is. I can't get on with it.
Karen, you like it then?
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah.
Like I said, it's catchy, but I couldn't tell you what he's singing.
Yeah.
I haven't got a clue. It's just, like I said, I'm just like... just singing away as you're driving in the car, whatever, yeah. But no.
Should we move on to Sensitive then?
Yeah. There's no video with that one, is there, either? No.
Written by Rob, Stuart Price and Jackson Guthrie, produced by Stuart. Jackson is an American singer-songwriter born in 1996. I just wrote that down because it seemed very young to me. Sensitive seems to be the only songwriting credit outside of his own releases.
Rob said, "Me and Stuart bonded over our love of Nick Jonas's song Jealous." Great pop tune. "I don't think 40-year-old straight men are meant to sit there in their houses going, 'That Jealous' by Nick Jonas, hell of a tune, but we're pop fans and we wanted to make a song like that. It echoes back to school discos and under-16s nights and Alexander O'Neill and Luther Vandross and late 80s, early 90s soul pop, I hope. It's one of not many songs where I'm not writing about me. I think they're people in an early relationship, and I think he's stable and she isn't. He's just trying to work out why everything upsets her. I see a marble house with her, and it's gone 3 a.m, and he can't work out why everything upsets her, and he doesn't know that she's mental in the head."
So what do you think of this one then?
I like this track. It's a kind of feel-good tune for me. I like the sort of synth electronic feel to it. Very electronic, that synthesizer style backing track. His amazing falsetto when he's doing the echoey "happy at all," that one in some high voice. Yeah, so I love it. I don't think the lyrics are particularly special, but I do like these few lines. "Maybe you came from outer space. Maybe I can help you let go. When you walk around the place, all that I can hear is your echo." Like that line.
I love the chorus, but to be honest, this song kind of washes over me and I kind of don't notice when it's on.
No.
You know, I like the HAPPY bit and I enjoy his vocal. Oh, you don't like that bit, Karen?
Karen's shaking her head violently.
No,
you hate that bit, do you? That winds
That's why I just had to call it up because I wasn't sure if I was. I've just called the lyrics up because I wanted to see if we were talking about the same one with the HAPPY. Can't stand it. Sorry, Rob. If whoever listens to this, I do apologise. I just don't like it. There was a song years ago, or a TV program or something, and it was like HAPPY.
Oh.
HAPPY, I know I am, I'm sure I am, HAPPY.
Oh, yeah.
Remember that?
Yeah, I do.
And that's what it always comes into my head, and it's like, oh no. No.
Maybe that's where he got it from then.
Sounds like a children's program.
Maybe.
Doesn't it?
It does.
I think it was like, oh God. Do you know Ant and Dec?
Yeah. What, on Saturday morning TV or something? SMTV?
No. God, they did. Years ago, there was a programme on, The Likely Lads.
Oh, yeah.
Ah.
The Likely Lads. Now, the original Likely Lads, there was a fella that played a part on another comic show or whatever, and I'm sure it was called, that was the theme tune, I'm HAPPY, but I don't know what the programme was called.
Right, okay.
Sorry, we've gone totally off now. So
But you don't like it anyway.
I do apologise. No, I don't like it, no. It's a skipper.
It's a skipper.
Sorry.
Well, you have a few of those. Yes. All opinions are valid on the podcast.
Yeah.
I noticed that it sounds like there's a funky guitar on it, but actually the song is literally just Rob on vocals and then Stuart Price on programming and keyboards.
Yeah,
and
it's synthesized.
Yeah,
It's
totally.
synth electronic all the way through.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah. Well,
let's move away from that song and unless you've got anything to add, Matt.
no, nothing to add, but just a reminder to our listeners that are only going, this is part one of the Heavy Entertainment Show episodes.
Yes.
And part 2 will be with Bobby after this one.
Yes.
So now we're going to go on and talk about some of the gigs and tours and promos and things that he did around the time.
Yeah, just a few of the gigs that he did.
You've mentioned a few
which
already,
we've already talked a lot about. So
but yeah, let's
give a few details.
Let's go through those.
Yeah, so the Apple Music Festival 10. This was Robbie's first promotional date, and it was the final Apple Music Festival on the 25th of September 2016 at the Camden Roundhouse.
Good God.
Yeah, 6 years ago.
2016.
Yeah. Previously called the iTunes Festival, it was a concert series held annually for 10 years, in which free tickets were allocated by a prize draw to Apple Music customers. Shows were streamed to Apple Music or Apple TV.
Rob's album launched in an advert during the X Factor, moments before he took to the stage. But he only sung Motherfucker and Sensational off the Heavy Entertainment show, as the new songs were planned to be exclusive on other TV shows.
Rob only rehearsed for 1 hour, as he'd performed all the songs before and had the support of his teleprompter. Rob told Chris Heath, "I woke and I'm shitting myself, and then I had to talk to myself, started to walk with a swagger. Then you go downstairs and you get in the lift and you're aware that you're going to go and do the first thing of the first thing that's hopefully huge, and if it isn't, you might be destroyed internally."
The concert saw the reintroduction of the infamous tiger pants, as fans had suggested them on Up Front. Were you two part of that campaign?
No.
No.
No? Okay, well,
No.
I'm sure a few other people that we know might have been.
Yeah.
When he pulled his trousers down to show his pants, the zipper got stuck and he nearly couldn't get his trousers back up. I'm sure you both remember that bit. It was also the first time he used his hand gel joke, and this was before COVID, saying to the crowd, "You never know after touching their hands."
Following the positive press reviews, Rob said, "Couldn't have gone better. They all love the gig. Nobody noticed that I got Botox and fillers. The Guardian gave it 4 out of 5, which is 6 out of 5 for me. I didn't read it, obviously. The Guardian review actually read, there really is nobody else in pop music anyway who combines monumental hamminess and bone-deep vulnerability quite so effectively."
NME's review of the gig stated, "Robbie Williams smashes Apple Music Festival with energetic greatest hits set. Tonight's gig isn't just a reminder of how many Robbie Williams songs several generations of Brits grew up or got older with. It's also conclusive proof that there's no other pop star quite like the funny, ego-fueled, eternally crowd-pleasing Robbie Williams." Oh, I wonder who from the NME wrote that.
I know.
Goodness. A positive review throughout without any backhanded, compliments.
Yeah.
Wow. Well done, NME.
Guy put out a blog 2 days before the show saying, "Being musical director for Robbie Williams is, of course, an honour and big responsibility. At times I feel I am the keeper of the flame, trying to maintain the level of musicianship and excitement for songs, some of which are nearly 20 years old. We are playing 2 new songs which are on the forthcoming album, The Heavy Entertainment Show, and part of my job is making them fit in with all our existing songs. It really is a joy to do new songs and welcome them into the Robbie family." So, Karen, I remember some people telling us, I don't know if this was true, that apparently Robbie had 10 times more applicants for tickets for his show compared to any of the other performers on the Apple Music Festival concerts that week, which included Elton John, Britney Spears and Michael Bublé. Do you think that was true?
I've no idea.
I
I've
reckon.
no idea. Possibly, yeah.
Maybe because it was his sort of comeback.
And there was a lot of people that didn't get tickets.
Oh yeah, because I tried. I didn't. Matt tried. And
Yeah.
didn't.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, that could be true.
yeah. Could be. Why not?
Or Robbie could have made it up.
I don't think it was Robbie that said it.
Robbie
It
didn't
was
say it.
someone outside who was part of it that came and
I
spoke
think
to
it
us.
could
in
have
the
been
queue.
true.
Yeah. I was just very grateful to be Bobby's +1. Absolutely buzzing to be there. I only found out like a couple of days beforehand or something. It was only because her friends were doing Tough Mudder as well.
Yes.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. They turned up later, didn't they? Some of them.
Yes, they did go in the evening. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Brilliant cue.
Yes, it was, and it was a great show
Brilliant cue.
in his butterfly
Yeah.
suit.
And we had a response to the photograph that was taken before.
Yes.
Remember?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Zoe took a nice selfie of the queue, like she got as many people in, and I think Petra posted it on Up Front and just said,
That's right,
she
yeah.
said something like, "We love you,"
We,
or something.
yeah, we love you.
And Robbie just replied, "I love you too," or something, didn't he?
Yeah, it was lovely. Yeah,
It was sweet.
it's great. It's a brilliant picture.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great. That butterfly suit, you know, I didn't plan on wearing the butterfly shirt when we went to Vegas.
Oh, yeah.
But now maybe it was subconscious. But he commented on it when I walked in because obviously he likes commenting on people's dress.
Yeah.
It seems, you know, oh, fresh white pumps. Oh, nice shirt, like it. That was the first thing he said to me. But yeah, it had butterflies on it, didn't
You
it?
did, yeah.
Maybe I was subconsciously, influenced from that moment.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I got some good shots from that show. Really good shots.
Yeah.
It's fab.
How many people would you say were there?
Well, it's the Roundhouse, isn't it?
Oh,
So
okay.
it's-
Roundhouse.
I tell you who was there, and that was Jurgen Klopp,
Oh, yes, you're right.
Liverpool manager. Yeah, he was caught dancing away up in the balcony there.
Yeah, I'd forgotten that. I wouldn't remember that though. Football things go straight out in one ear and out the other.
Well, I do because my son supports Liverpool.
Oh, okay.
So
Aha.
it was a big thing to come home and tell him that he was there.
Oh.
Yeah, fab.
So moving on to other gigs.
Rob played other gigs, including at Magic Radio Studios on the 5th of October for an intimate audience.
Which is what Karen was at.
Yes.
I was there. Yeah,
That was the one where there was only 10 people.
yeah. Well, there was a few more than that,
Yeah.
but it
Yes.
seemed like there was 10.
Wow.
Yeah, when I was a midget. And again, I asked him a stupid question, as I do. But there we are.
We can practice these
Yeah, the-
questions with you if you want.
But I think we're going to have to do something. Yeah, definitely. In training. So we had a nice conversation with him about, because he always pretends that he doesn't know Zoe when he's out and about, like there's people, and he's like, oh, where are you from? And she's like, oh, I'm from Stoke. And they have the usual conversation, oh, I grew up in, I don't know, Newcastle and Lyme or wherever it is.
Yeah.
And he was asking her how she'd come down that day. And she said she'd come down on a coach. And he was talking about her numb bum. Yeah, so I think in the chat then afterwards, he asked her how her trip back was and everything, which is really nice, to carry on the conversation afterwards,
Aw.
Yeah.
So yeah. So, but he always does that with Zoe.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Also, Key 103's Christmas Live at Manchester Arena on the 9th of December, and a small gig at Hackney St John Church on the 14th of December for Amazon Prime to about 900 people.
So there was the Troxy Brit Icon gig. Rob was presented with a Brit Icon Award on the 7th of November 2016 at the Troxy Theatre in London. Only 3 other artists have received the Icon Award: Elton John, David Bowie and Taylor Swift, who received a Global Icon Award in 2021. Rob performed a concert which was televised alongside Vox Pop clips of himself, friends and family talking about his career. He later performed on the actual Brits ceremony in February.
Tickets to the show could be bought by fans. Take That presented him with the award, and he sung Back for Good, which turned into his rockier version, and The Flood with them. Rob's acceptance speech was his Hello Sir poem from Life Through a Lens. Rob also won Best International Music Award at the Bambies.
Yeah, me and my friend Laura were the last ones to get into the pit for that gig. They were handing out the wristbands for the sort of pit bit.
Yeah.
We didn't get there till 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and we were just really lucky to be the last ones in. So we just stood right at the back, but right in the middle. So the boxing ring was actually only a few people away from us. So yeah, it was great. I loved it. Very exciting show it was.
It's at the Troxy.
Troxy, yeah.
You're talking about
yeah,
now?
Troxy.
Yeah. We queued. We turned up to queue. We had ticket or number, our number system. It was something like 65.
Oh, God.
And I was like, oh my God, that's really high.
Yeah.
And when we got inside, we were on the boxing ring, right on it. And because like all the other spaces down the front of the stage had gone. Of course, like he ended up being on that front bit more than he was on the main stage.
Yeah.
So that turned out quite well for us.
Yeah.
And the next day was my birthday.
Oh.
I always have a good time around my birthday with Robbie. See?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a great show.
Yeah. And he did come down, actually, I think it was like the instrumental part of Feel. And he sort of came off the stage for a split second, came down, and I managed to have a hand grip for a couple of seconds.
Aww.
Yeah. But you don't get to see that on TV,
Right.
which is unfortunate.
Yeah.
Yeah. Never mind.
Well, and I mean, I wasn't there, but I just have to signpost this for the podcast because obviously it's part of the reason why we're doing it. I mean, to have received the Icon Award that only Elton John, David Bowie and Taylor Swift have had before, that's big.
Yeah, it is.
It's like big.
Yeah.
It's massive.
Really big.
Yeah.
It's just, if that isn't confirmation of how successful he is, then you know.
Yeah.
Well, he's had the most Brits ever,
Yes.
hasn't he?
Yeah.
You know, like out of Elton John didn't have all those Brits.
No.
He just had an Icon Award. So, well,
Phenomenal.
not just an Icon Award, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And David Bowie, well, you know,
Yeah.
speaks for himself. Yeah. Amazing.
Yeah.
Wow.
And we were forgetting to mention that night, the flag.
Oh, yes. We're
Yes.
proud of you.
Proud of you.
Aw.
Yeah.
Yeah, everyone
Yeah.
held up. Someone arranged it and they printed them all off. It was proud of you, and the typeface was kind of made of the British flag.
The British
Well, we
flag,
all
yeah.
held them up.
And we all held
With
them
the
up.
with the Brit Award in the middle, and it was like proud of you.
Yes.
Yeah. We all held them up.
At the end
was
during Angels.
Amazing. Yeah. It's great.
He was really moved by that, wasn't he?
Yeah.
I bet.
Yeah. Why can't we purchase these videos anymore?
Oh, well, I've got it on like
A few.
DVD that I've copied for myself off the telly. Yeah.
Send Karen a copy.
Yeah, I'll send you a copy if I can. If I can work out how to do it.
Hi, I'm Robbie Williams, and you're listening to Robbie Williams Rewind with the Champions.
So yeah, then the next gig that we wanted to mention was the Heart gig on the 19th of December at Chelsea Football Club's Under the Bridge, which was only for about 500 people. And I was lucky enough to win tickets for that on the radio. I managed to work out that I was trying to win them on the... Actually, no. For the first, Robbie played an intimate Heart gig for the Swing album, and I was trying to win tickets for that, and I never did. But then Take That did a Heart gig the following year, and for that one, I worked out that actually, if you rung the local Heart station, you had more. It doesn't matter. If you rung the local Heart breakfast show, you had more chance of winning because less
got
people.
more chance of getting through.
Yeah, and so I did, and so I won tickets for Take That like that.
Yeah.
And then for Robbie, obviously I did it, and I won them easily, in comparison to the first Robbie one. But unfortunately, Heart have scrapped their local breakfast shows. They only have a national breakfast show, so that's why I'm giving away the
So you
secret.
can give away the trade secret
because it doesn't work anymore.
Oh, well. but well done for working out that ruse. That's good.
Yeah. So I was delighted to win those tickets. I was very happy. And then they actually chose to call me the next morning to ask me what I thought of the previous night's concert. So I was on the radio again.
Oh, did they?
Yeah.
Did we record that clip?
Yeah, I think we've got it somewhere. Yeah.
Oh, we might have to put it on the episode webpage.
Yeah, I could do that. Yeah.
That's a good idea.
Yeah. So I took Matt as my +1 to that. I had to.
Ah,
Well, I had to.
after all these shows I didn't go to.
Actually, you won 4 tickets, didn't you, for that one? So
It's
I took
4.
Alan and Sarah as well.
Yes.
I had to apologise to
brilliant.
Bobby because she had just previously obviously taken me as her +1 to the Apple Music Festival, and then I kind of didn't
Bobby.
take her. I did apologise at the time, but it's all worked out fine now for her.
She's just had to explain that Matt was going to leave her if didn't go. Not true.
Well, the thing is that Matt had never been to an intimate gig, and so I really wanted to take him.
Yeah, and it was bloody amazing.
Yeah, we ended up on the front row, and actually in the queue during.
That makes a change.
Yeah, exactly. It was very novel for us to be on the front row. the weirdest thing was there was no distance, but it was the front row was on the stage.
Pretty much.
It's
yeah.
on the
There
stage.
was barely even a gap.
Amazing.
I don't think there was even a gap.
There
to
was
walk
a gap,
around.
but it was like
Just-
50
it was
centimetres. or
minuscule, wasn't it? You just
Yeah.
about squeezed through it.
something. Yeah.
But,
Yeah,
But then
brilliant.
while we were queuing, Robbie came on to chat, and I said, "Oh, I'm in the queue for the gig," and so then during the gig, he spotted me in the first song, Heavy Entertainment Show. And I had a chocolate orange for him, and he clocked me quite early. And then during the sort of bit where the backing singers are singing, and they sing about having a hit in Belgium, he came over and took the chocolate orange off me and said, "Lucy," and shook my hand. I nodded, yeah, I'm Lucy. And then because of my profile picture on chat at that time was of me and Matt, he saw Matt was behind me, and he said, "Mr. Champion."
and I got a handshake as well.
Because he didn't know Matt's name, because I was just Lucy Champion. He just knew he was
Yeah.
Mr. Champion, so he shook Matt's hand as well. And then he took the chocolate orange and banged it on the floor and started throwing bits out to everyone
Yeah, just
in the
lobbing it
crowd.
out.
Oh, wow.
He did make sure I caught a piece as well. He made sure he threw one to me. And then weirdly, one of my friends in Bournemouth, one of her friends won tickets through the local Bournemouth Heart. And apparently she had caught one of those bits of chocolate. And I think she's still got it.
I'd have eaten it.
I
Oh
ate
my
it. I did
God.
eat it.
Oh dear. Oh.
Can I ask you a question
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
a second? Yeah. Remember that picture you had of when he was in Take That
Yeah.
outside his house a long, long time ago when
Yeah.
you were little?
Yeah.
I know you're little now, but you know what I mean. Have you ever shown him that? Does he know about that photo?
I did put it on chat as my profile picture at one point, but he never commented on it, and then I just put it back.
No.
But put it back to a different one because I
Yeah.
always feel a little bit
Okay.
uncomfortable about it because I was outside his house.
Stalking.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I wasn't really stalking. I was there
No,
for
I
the
know.
wedding,
I know. Yeah.
and it just was
It was just
coincidence.
total coincidence.
No, but as we drove up to his house, just literally to have a look and drive off again, he walked out. What was I going to do? Walk off? No.
Yeah,
My dad and my
exactly.
brother, and
Yeah.
they were like, "Is that him?"
Oh, well, that's it. It's not like as if you were like a gang of girls or anything then.
No.
It's if it was just you and your family or whatever. Yeah.
And they made me
Yeah.
get out of the car and speak to him, but even though I couldn't speak.
Yeah.
I've heard that specific scene is going to be in Betterman.
Oh,
so
shush.
Next year you'll be able to see a
Is it really?
reenactment of Lucy and Robbie outside the house.
Really?
You know.
Oh,
Dear.
Well, and as you said, Lucy, he's been absolutely lovely to us ever since.
Yeah.
When we've had any interactions on chat, or maybe when we've seen him and in person, he's always remembered our names and just been incredibly lovely to us. And
he said to you when you spoke to him, "I remember you because you're the champions," or something, didn't he?
yes. Well, and he also specifically, again, coming back to the fashion thing, that we're not fashionistas, by the way. He started commenting. He said, "Yeah, I know. I remember you two from the front because you're wearing your retro zip
Tracksuits.
hoodie tracksuits or
Which
your
I
Adidas
wasn't.
3-stripe." I think I did, though, didn't I?
You may have done,
yeah.
but I wasn't.
But yeah,
I took offence to that, and I said,
well, I was.
I was wearing a nice top."
I think I had my 3-stripe on, but it might have been It might have been a criminal one, not a Adidas one. But there we go, details.
Yeah.
So, what's next? Oh yeah, hang on a minute. We forgot. So there was another little bit that happened in that gig.
Yeah.
Rob sung "To Become One" with Heart Breakfast DJ Emma Bunton.
Yeah.
Well, she's not just a Heart Breakfast DJ. For
She's a
anybody who's
Spice Girl.
listening, she's a Spice Girl and a singer, but
Yeah.
now a breakfast DJ. And
Well, she
and
was.
the-
She's not anymore.
and the highlights were shown on Heart TV a few days later, and they absolutely loved it.
Yeah.
You could tell they were both as excited as each other about singing with each other, and it was just a moment,
good.
wasn't it? Really
Yeah.
special.
Yeah.
To Become One.
Yeah.
Did they sing that together? Did they actually sing that song?
Yeah.
Yeah.
At that gig. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. It was great.
Really good.
I-
Yeah. So that was special.
And he sang it properly. He didn't piss about. He was laughing,
Yeah.
and they were smiling and smirking at each other, but they both sang it like really, really seriously, really professionally.
Well, it was going to go out on TV, so he had to.
Yeah, he had to. He got told he had to. Got told not to lob chocolate orange around the stage, but he still did.
Yeah. We'll have to share that video on our socials as
Yeah,
well.
there's a few videos from that we can share.
Yeah.
The one him coming over and getting the chocolate orange.
Yeah.
I'm have my work cut out on this episode, aren't I?
Yeah.
All these videos.
So then the final gig of the promo period was the New Year's Eve concert.
Yes. Rob was invited to do the New Year's Eve concert, which airs on BBC One before and after midnight. A big honour with a huge TV audience, as it includes the Big Ben chimes and London fireworks. Rob came down to the barrier and did sing Auld Lang Syne with members of the audience. When he went back to the stage, he used hand gel, joking with the crowd with his facial expression. But the way it was edited for TV, it made it just look like he was disgusted that he'd touched the audience. That became the overarching meme of the night, unfortunately.
Oh, dear.
I remember it well, even though I wasn't there.
Yeah.
Yes.
And Robbie described in chat a few days later that it had been a really difficult gig for
Yeah,
him,
it did,
that he'd
yeah.
felt terrified the whole time, as all he'd been able to think about was all the people at home who hate him watching because they were with someone who wanted to watch.
Yeah, he asked us how it came across, and he said, well, and everyone was like, oh yeah, it was really good, really good. And he said, well, actually inside I was absolutely shitting myself.
Yeah. I'm
Feeling
guessing
terrible
that maybe
about it.
Robbie didn't turn up that night or something. I don't know.
A lot of pressure.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not, I think that we might have mentioned this on some shows before, but I'm sure we've talked about this before, but it's not just the UK that watch that. It's just like, it airs all around the world, doesn't
Yeah.
it? It's like
Oh,
millions and
right. I
millions and
didn't
millions of
realise that.
people tune in for that. So, yeah.
But I loved the gig. It was just a shame that the entry got a bit messed up, and they
Messy.
Carrie organised
entry.
for the first 50 or 100 or something to be let in first in an orderly fashion, because he knew we would all just walk in, because there was lots of stairs involved. You had to go up 2 flights of stairs or something. And so, yeah, we all went in. And then when we got in, the
second
indoor
set of doors.
security held the doors and kept us waiting in line until they had opened up all the doors to everyone else, who then came up a different part of the staircase and made a separate queue at a different part. So then all of us who had been waiting for
a
longer
whole line of doors with
ended
loads of
up
queues in
way
front of them.
further back than people who were way behind them in the queue, just because the indoor security, it was almost like they were doing it on purpose just to be shits, actually, weren't they?
Well, it did
The
seem a
looks
bit
on
that
their
way.
expression on their faces
Yeah.
was like, we're just going to fuck
This
with
is the
these
way we're
guys because
doing
this is funny. And so when the internal doors opened, there was like, it was mental. I've never seen anything. Everyone pushed, and the security guards themselves nearly got pushed over.
Yeah, it was absolutely manic. I mean, I think one of the security guards did fall over.
Yeah, I
think he was
so.
trying to hold someone back, and they just kept going, and he just
got
went on the floor.
Yeah.
I mean, literally, it wasn't very far from those doors to the stage. So why they did that, I don't know.
It just caused
everyone would have just
pandemonium.
filed in like gently if they would have been open, but no, they held us like cattle. And then when the doors opened, everyone stampeded,
Yeah.
and we were in it. So I was. You couldn't kind of not move with it. It was dangerous, but yeah,
Anyway,
we got in.
Matt made it to the front row, and then he thought I was next to him, and I went and tapped him on the shoulder, and he realised that the short lady next to him on the barrier wasn't me, and actually I was behind him, and so then I had to go in front of him.
Well,
And he let that lady in?
No, it was just
Did he let?
I
Oh,
must have
right,
just
okay.
been looking forward, nosing at the stage, just thinking Lucy was next to me,
Yeah.
like as you do that whole relief thing.
Yeah.
And I didn't realise it wasn't her. And then, but I knew she was with me. But
so then he had to
that's
sort of let me onto
that's
the
the
barrier in
benefit
front
of
of
being
him.
your height, isn't it? You just fit perfectly in front of me. So
Yeah.
it works, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I can see directly over the top of your head.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
But then,
bless.
unfortunately, with the whole stampede, we ended up in front of the speakers rather than in front of the actual stage.
Yeah, we were slightly off to the side. We'd have preferred to have been a bit more central, but
But that meant that we were on the camera constantly because there was a camera right in front of us.
Yes.
Oh, right.
We happened to be in front of the live BBC television camera that was doing audience shots. And I had an unbelievable amount of friends, family, work colleagues, including work colleagues that I don't really even know and haven't worked with for years, saying, "Was that you on telly? Weren't you just on telly?" I had it all of that night. And then because all the texts are sort of delayed at New Year's Eve, I had a load of them the next morning as well. And like for days and weeks after, was that you and your wife on television? You know, and then people were sending me photos of us on television as if we didn't know we were on the television. It was quite, people were taking photos of the screen, and it was funny, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It is funny.
What a lovely night.
And because we had the camera in front of us, it had the red light on. You knew when you were live on telly because the red light came on. And I knew it was coming. I just felt it. When it got to the full of shit bit on Come Undone, I just knew that it was going to be on me. And the red light came on. And so I actually didn't say full of shit. I said full of it because I knew that my kids were watching at home.
Oh, right.
You're a good mum, aren't you? Setting a good example. They thought, there's a nice innocent person we could point the camera at. She won't swear.
Good girl, Lucy.
Yeah.
Good girl. Oh, bless.
So there we go.
That was a lovely night, wasn't it? It was nice to be. I mean, I felt for Robbie because obviously he wasn't in his good place, but he gave. It just shows what a performer he is because he gave his all.
It didn't
gave a great
show, though.
No, it didn't
No,
show.
not at all.
It didn't show.
Not at all.
It didn't show. The only time I've seen him not turn up, as you know, Robbie not turn up, was when he did a Radio 2 show, and hardly any of us managed to get in.
Oh yeah.
You know, like you got to ring up. Yeah. And there was only like about 3 people I know that went.
Yes.
And of course, he's used to his front 2 rows, I suppose, isn't he? And there was nobody there, or hardly anybody there. And you could tell he wasn't, you know, he wasn't there.
Right.
Yeah. But that show, to me, he was on form.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah, I thought he was great. Yeah.
Yeah.
So he disguised it well.
He did.
Yeah.
So, just before we wrap up this episode, make sure you subscribe to the podcast so you don't miss out. And also, Lucy and I would really appreciate it if you can leave us a star rating. You can do this on both Apple and Spotify podcasts. We would also love it if you could write us a short review, and you can do this on Apple. Don't forget, you can check out our episode notes for each episode and links to all tracks and videos at robbiewilliamsrewind.com. You can also email us at email@robbiewilliamsrewind.com. Please also follow and chat on our social channels. It's at RewindRobbie on Twitter, Instagram and TikTok. And you can also like and follow our Facebook page, Robbie Williams Rewind. And before we return to this episode, you might also consider sending us one of your own Robbie stories for the show. Just record a short audio clip on your phone and email it to us. Please check the website for more details. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Robbie Williams, and you're listening to Robbie Williams Rewind with the Champions.
So we've reached the end of the show, and it's time for each of us to pick our favourite track from this episode. So in our usual tradition, our guest Karen, you get to choose first. Which of the songs, the ones we've talked about on this episode?
It's got to be Heavy Entertainment Show.
Yeah,
it's got to be. Yeah, most definitely, yes. 100%.
I had a feeling it might be from the love that you showed for it at the beginning.
It's just like so many memories.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that one must be a lovely one for you to listen to, just to bring back all the music. Does bring back memories in such a lovely way.
It does bring back memories. Yeah.
Oh.
Definitely.
So that will be going on the playlist.
Yeah.
And
Matt, what's your choice?
Oh, you want me to go next?
Yeah.
I need to look. I know it's Love My Life. I know it was the popular one. I know it was the big hit, but it's not It's not really because of that I'm choosing it. I think I've got lovely memories of learning to sing that and rehearsing that with Chloe, our daughter, and singing it for you and your mum.
Yeah.
And that's part of it. And I actually like the story behind the song as well, that he's actually singing it. You know, it's what he hopes for his kids. Obviously, I love hearing it as well. So, yeah, Love My Life.
Okay, so that leaves me with a few to choose from, and it's quite hard, actually.
Did we choose a couple of your choices then?
No, because I literally cannot choose. I love them all. So, but it leaves me in my mind with Party Like a Russian, Mixed Signals, and Motherfucker.
I didn't know you could have more than one.
No, I'm not gonna. I'm only gonna choose one.
I'm shortlisting.
Oh, right, okay. Right.
No, there's very strict rules about this bit, Karen.
I know. Yeah. It's not fair.
I think I'm gonna have to go with Motherfucker.
Yay!
Yeah.
I had a feeling you might.
It's such a great song. Love it.
Yeah.
Well, you've always talked about it very fondly, so I thought it might be.
I do love Party Like a Russian as well, but it's great lyrics, great sound. But Motherfucker, it just takes it.
It's got to be on the playlist.
Yeah.
Cool. Good.
So thanks for listening, everyone. Tune in to the next episode when we'll be joined by Bobby from Grimsby to talk about the rest of the Heavy Entertainment Show album, as well as the world tour of 2017 and also 2018 as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks so much, Karen, for joining us. We've absolutely loved chatting to you.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah. And we really appreciate you coming on, and we love queuing with you. We've loved getting to know you over the years, and we're looking forward to seeing you again soon, hopefully, physically, in the flesh, somewhere.
Yeah, I know.
It was nice catching up with you in Stoke. That was a lovely time.
I know.
So, yeah. And, we hope to be in many more queues with you in the future.
Yeah.
Yes, of course. There will be many more, hopefully. Fingers crossed. As long as they're not in the winter.
No, just summer gigs only.
Summer ones only, yeah. We like the summer.
Okay.
Well, thank you very much.
Thanks, then.
Thanks.
Okay. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye. Take care. Bye. Bye.
Robbie Williams Rewind.